Trayton Lapsevich was the winner of the E3 Sparkplugs Pole Award as well as the Leland Industries Lap Leader Award. Starting fourth, from Roxton Pond, Quebec, the GM Paillet Chevrolet Canada number 27, Andrew Ranger. Drivers starting third this afternoon, taking a break from a hectic NASCAR Xfinity Series schedule to join us from Victoriaville, Quebec. The E-Vibram Home Hardware Ford number 24. We welcome back former series champion Alex LeBay. Now, race fans, your front row on the outside of row number 1. From St. Leonard d'Aston, Quebec, the GM Paillet Chevrolet Canada number 96, Marc Antoine Camarand. In our most recent series race from Autodrome Chaudière in Quebec, the Newfoundland Touring Move of the Race Award went to Marc Antoine Camarand, and the Fresh Stone Brands winner of the race award also went to Marc Antoine Camarand. Your pole sitter with a time of 15.821 seconds from Bois-Chatel, Quebec, the Group Tige Incorporated XPN Chevrolet number 80, Donald Tige. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the starting lineup for this afternoon's Proline 250 presented by Newfoundland and Labrador Chevrolet dealers. Race fans, at this time, we'd ask you to please rise and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem. with that race victory, one step closer to the moment we have all been waiting for. My name's Adam Ross. Joining me, of course, is Clinton Jeffrey, as he does for all these races. Clinton, I'm glad you could make it out. I was here yesterday. I relaxed last night. Tell me about your trip to St. John's.
Yeah, things were great. I mean, what can you say about how we get treated here, Adam? The teams, everything that went on last night at George Street, everything we're going to see here today. I mean, it's no secret that this race is marked on all these teams' calendars, all the staff. We all love to come here. And we've only been at it 1 year so far.
This is the race the wives want to come to, the husbands want to come to. You know what I mean? It's an amazing trip. You're really experiencing something special when you're able to come out here. We were able to have fun on George Street last night. I didn't know until this morning, but there's going to be events tonight on George Street with the winner of this race. So, and it's not like George Street, you go out the exit of the racetrack and you cross the street. It's about a 30-minute drive back to town, but what's 30 minutes when you're all the way out here in one of the most beautiful parts of the world? Yeah,
I was talking to Dave Bradley earlier today, and I said it'd be similar if we were at Jukasa and we held it in downtown Hamilton. It's that type of drive, but it just works here. I mean, the action we saw last night, the atmosphere we're going to see again tonight, it's just great to see that the city of St. John's embrace the whole race package. What a facility we've got here, though, Adam. We've seen it. The tower here is amazing. What a unique facility, though, as far as the surface goes. We're going to talk a lot about that. Got a bit of an up and downhill back straightaway. It looks like a roller coaster from here in the tower. It's got to be one of the funnest tracks to race at.
You know what? The drivers really enjoy it here, but Clint, it is nerve-wracking. You talk to any one of the drivers and they say visibility is a problem. You go into turn 1, you can't see turn 2. You go into turn 3, you can't see turn 4. It might not seem like a big deal to us because from our vantage point, we see it all. But from theirs, they don't because they sit so low in the cars. You have to trust your spotter that if something's coming, they're going to let you know so you can slow down, take evasive action. Things come up on you in a big hurry.
No, the facility looks fantastic. Done a great job getting it spruced up for us here today. You know, let's talk about the competition, Adam. Our regular cast of characters are here, but we have a lot from the Rock today. And what a great thing it is to have local drivers make the deals, get in these cars, and participate in this NASCAR Pinty Series event at their home province.
How about young Owen Groves, driver of the 99, the top qualifier of all the home province racers. He qualified 11th in a car prepared by Larry Jackson out of those stables. So that's a real feel-good story. But how about Brandon McFarland? All season long, he's been doing what he needs to do to get to the end of the races and maximize his finishes.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the 99 here is an amazing story that we'll be following too. It dawned on me as you were going through the lineup, and I thought, wow, that 99 is way up there. I mean, when you qualify better than DJ Kennington, you're doing something right.
Enough said, right? That's kind of the moment where you say, yeah, we're going to have to accept this and say we did a pretty good job. Folks, we are just over 6 minutes or so from the command to get things fired up. We look down on the front straightaway and we'll wait for the signal to let them rip. But the reason they have this time built in between the national anthem and the command to get things going is because it takes a long time, and you see every driver gets into their race car differently. Some of them get suited up with all their protective gear before they climb in the car. Some of them climb in and then start belting things up and tightening things down. But there's a lot of equipment that has to be in the right spot, attached the right way. Communication, safety, all sorts of things play into it.
Well, we've got standard safety issues, but then you've got cool suits and drink boxes and other things they're going to do, creature comforts to keep them through as the heat starts to pick up here at the end of June in this beautiful part of the country we're in right now. Let's bring in Mike James for a minute. Mike, welcome to the program. Good to have you here, sir. Thank you for welcoming us back here to Eastbound Park. What a great spot it's been. Tell us a bit about how the preparation has been going to get ready for tonight's event.
Well, last year we only had a couple of months. You know, we had we got the green flag in March, and the event was in June. So we had the whole year to prep. You know, there's a lot of lipstick out there. You see a fresh painted coat. The whole team, Bob Smith, Pat Squires, Sarah Squires, the whole family, everybody chipping in the last couple of weeks. But it's been a full year. We got a fantastic schedule ahead for 2023. And, you know, year number 3 is going to be unbelievable. So each year we'll raise the ladder. So we're looking forward to having you back next year.
Did you just drop a hint there? Did you just drop some news and hint there? It just kind of swept it under the rug? We'll let that go. Some of you might have caught that. Well, we'd love to be back. And I know all the teams do, Mike. It's been great. What have you heard from the teams yourself? Like, what kind of response? What's been the biggest comments you've heard about everybody coming here to the Rock?
Well, I think Newfoundland and Labrador in general is a destination. This is a destination race, and, you know, all the racers that I've talked to just love it here. Yesterday when we did that thing down George Street, you know, everybody in the trucks and seeing all the fans screaming their heads off, and then the screeching with Skipper Dickey was just awesome. So, but, you know, I talked to some of the drivers, and you hit on it earlier about the technicalities of this track, and, you know, Larry Jackson in particular told me coming out of 4, it's a bit scary when it's their first time. So a lot of those drivers will have that feedback from last year. So I'm sure they took their notes last year, but it is definitely a roller coaster. And I think the locals, such as Owen Grove, Sarah Thorne, Josh Collins, Brandon McFarland, as well as Wayne Hanlon Jr., this is what it's all about. This is what Pat built this place. Pat Squires, this is his dream. And I know right now he's pretty pumped to get this thing going.
I think we're ready to go. Back to Adam Ross. Adam?
Let's send it down trackside to the most famous words in motorsports. I believe we have Abby McDonald from the Atlantic Lottery Corporation and the Minister of Tourism, Steve Crocker, to give today's command.
Drivers, start your engine!
Excellent.
Well done, well done. It is time to go here at the Rock.
Music to our ears. So much travel involved in getting down here. Long drive for these teams, a long ferry ride. I shouldn't say for these teams, for the hauler drivers. The teams got here just like you and I did, Clinton. They jumped on an airplane for the most part and took a nap, and when they woke up, they were in heaven, paradise.
Yeah, let's talk a bit about Adam. He mentioned for these teams to get here. You know, it just simply up your hauler, towing it across to the next track. These have taken ferry rides, hours, like half a day of ferry ride. And it's a long trek over here, but they've come out. The other thing we want to talk about is the teamwork. You know, teams pairing up to get the smaller budget teams here. It's just a great look for the series.
So teams like Scott Steckley pitch in to help Larry Jackson get his equipment out here. And I'm not piggyback on whose teams, but this is an expensive series to run. A lot of one driver, his season was he won the first 2 races this year, but Trayton did not have funding to get to the end of 2023. If you look into the infield, folks, at that 22 hauler, on the back of it says 22 Racing. If you look up the side of the hauler, there is a giant Glenn Stiers Racing sticker. To my knowledge, they have secured a deal with support from Glenn Stiers Racing to finish out the 2023 season. So there's a lot of deals that get extended back and forth. That's one example, the 20. We've got another example with the 9 of Brandon Watson, Westman Steel on the quarter panel of that race car this week. So a lot of these teams are getting creative and bringing on additional partners. How about Dooley Trucking on the side of the 84 of Larry Jackson? That's a deal that team only has when they come here to Newfoundland.
No, it's amazing to see the Newfoundland businesses also get behind this series and pick up these drivers, even if it's a one-off or two-off race. Great to see. But that Trayton Lapsovich story is huge, Adam. You know, obviously he's been one of the dominant cars for the past couple seasons. Funding is obviously an expensive thing, as you said, and for them to get secured and for Glenn to step up, let's face it, for full disclosure, you and I have worked for Glenn for about 25 years. We know the type of guys. He wants strong, tough racers, and a prob down there for Alex LeBay already, Adam, and he's not able to roll away. Could be an equipment issue, could be a car issue.
And to my knowledge, and I actually travel with a NASCAR rulebook these days, Clinton, because there's a lot to keep up with, and I want to be up to speed. 2 team cars, the 24 and the 1, are both on the same team. Both cars having trouble getting going. As long as your car makes it to the grid under its own starting position.
So basically what that means, the teams had to fire it up and drive it out.
You have to present the car for the race, and once it's presented, you're good to go. If under a yellow, the car fails and needs to be pushed off, you're going to lose whatever time, whatever position. If they go by conditions, same rule applies as this original start. You get to get a push start. I believe they don't start counting until they go green once again. So all sorts of little rules to keep up with, and even after 15 years, I still mess them up on the regular.
Well, we're doing 4 different series a week, and everybody's got their own little intricacies about what is allowed and what isn't. But one thing that looks fabulous, this field of cars here today, great to see them all come out and support this event. One of the larger car counts we've had so far this year, and it's fantastic to see.
How about Doug Jewer? Doug, can you hear us up there? Give us a wave if you can hear us. Mike Charest hears us. Actually, I think that's the sign for, are these drivers going to be waving to us, Mike?
Yes, they will be, Adam.
Race fans, up on your feet, grab your hats, grab your program, grab whatever's nearby, give these drivers a wave. They will be waving back. This was always one of the biggest deals to me as a kid in the stands. If your driver waved back, he was waving at me.
Of course, he didn't. It wasn't the other thousands of people out there.
Nope.
He had his eyes on you. But that's what makes you a fan, and that's what keeps us around all these years later. We got bit by that bug, and we're still at it.
There is no sport, no activity in the world that is more connected to its race fans. These drivers know without you, they have nothing. They'd just be out on the side streets doing things they shouldn't be doing, Clinton.
This is true.
But because of the fans.
So we've done the wave lap. Time to double them up and get ready to go. Mike Charest shows 1 to go.
Next time out of turn number 4, Donald Teach will be the first to fire. Doug Jewer will have the green flag in hand as the honorary starter. And it'll be time to go racing for 250 laps. The spotters all talking to their drivers. Pull your belts tight. Clear that carburetor out. Take it easy on this first lap. Remember, things can bottleneck down there in turn number 1. They've got eyes in the sky, the voice inside these drivers' heads that'll help guide them through this race. They have to understand the English instructions from the race director, and some of them have to translate that into French to get to their driver.
I think most of these drivers have heard it. What does mean is and gets the nose out in front of the team. Back.
Start than we saw last season. Front straight away, side by side. Donald T. Marc-Antoine Cameron. It'll be Cameron leading lap number 1.
I like that look he was using off before. He was a whole lane lower than all the other drivers in front of him. Oh! 2 of them around turn number 2.
Malcolm Strong doing his best. Tony Hawk grinding up the top of the wall in that Curb Records 98. Sarah Thorne, she's got that car refired. She's got to take off to try to get out ahead of the pace car. They're all good. It's like synchronized swimming out there for race cars as they both all get their cars pointed the right way. But look at those rubber marks.
Marc-Antoine Cameron on pit road, Adam.
Did he jump the start? The leader must cross the line first on the original start.
Wow. That's a big issue here. So Cameron stopped on pit road, being held by the official for the field to go by and then released.
That's all I can imagine it was, and that might have been a very smart thing to do, to come down pit road immediately, especially with the yellow flag. The sooner you can commit to getting to pit road, the sooner you get back on the racetrack. With the yellow flag coming out, it makes it a freebie. Folks, look at this replay. Right on the top right of your screen, you'll see Strong. I wish I knew the skateboarding terms, because that was a beautiful move. I was just watching a Tony Hawk documentary on the flight. Wayne Hanlon.
Got right front danger. You can see the right front fender tore off the 11 car. It has been confirmed Cameron did jump the start.
So on the original start, the leader must cross the start-finish line first. And Cameron got a little bit too much bite.
The J. Kennington crew there working on the Wayne Hanlon Jr. number 11.
Have a look if you're watching the stream at the far right side of the screen. Yeehaw!
Oh, that was like a rail grinder, right?
That's the Tony Hawk. Wayne Hanlon has made repairs. Sarah Thorne heading down into the pits with the 06 Maltron. They're going to want to have a look at that car. I mean, inside the car, it looks like that right front tire might be turning outward more than he would like.
And do you think that maybe what took him up to the wall at him? Like,
Nope.
Did you see
I
it?
think he overshot turn. I happened to be watching down there, and I think he just got into the corner too hot. In fact, that's
so
what
much
he
runoff
said.
there.
It's what he said on the qualifying lap. He got in there too hot. That could be if he see on the back straightaway, the wall is not even, so stick out. He could have clipped the right front and knocked the toe out of that race car at that point. There's no telling. He's going to stack the field up once again to set him loose. This time, if Donald Teach fires first and Andrew Ranger beats him to the line, that's legal.
So it's only on the original start that the...
Only on the original start. If they determine Ranger jumps the start and beats Teach to the line, all he has to do is let Teach go by at some point on that first lap. There will be no penalty.
Clarification for everybody watching at home and here in the gorgeous stands at Eastbound International Speedway. We are going back to it. Donald Teach gets the jump. The Ranger on the outside looks like the outside may be the preferred line for the restarts.
Without temperature in these tires, they just can't attack the inside groove as well as hard as Donald Teach would like to. Andrew Ranger loads it up on the outside, and no needs to run more than Andrew Ranger in that 20 machine, and he overcooks turn number 1. Way up the racetrack he goes, opens the door to Donald Teach on the inside.
Side by side off to 3, keeping the ball down the bumper, looking for room, as is LeBay, and here comes Trayton Laswich and Watson, two of Ontario's best short trackers getting into the mix.
Side by side, they continue to battle for the lead. Teach with a nose in front off of turn number 2, but Ranger with a better run down the backstretch. They stay glued together side by side as they exit turn 4.
And Ranger starting to work that right rear loop. Loose off the turn so far, trying to keep that outside position. LaCroix will fill the gap on the bottom and try and put 7 back to 3rd.
All these drivers trying to sort things out. Andrew Ranger lost that battle for the lead. He really just wants to find a spot where he can get in and run some laps. You could see Brandon Watson turn up the wick a little bit in that number 9. He didn't want to make life easy for Andrew Ranger. He wants to pick up a free position. So why the inside of 27? Finally, Andrew Ranger going to get back in line just in front of Trayton Lasovich back fifth, but Watson goes for a ride into turn 1.
Well, that would explain Strong got out of hand if Watson is pushed outside and sliding up the hill like that. Teach down low and on the inside. His tire tracks and probably the best conservation experience out of a lot of these guys over the last couple years running these extra distance races.
Alex LeBay is excellent in execution when it comes to driving a race car. There's an over road course. He can hit his marks. He can attack a race. He can save his equipment. There is nobody better.
Top 2 start to get a lead over 3rd place. Then about 2 lengths back to the rear machine. Brandon Watts still holding on to position number 5. Lapsovich with a new DSR on the quarters, trying to make some ground up here. Another driver who are expecting good things out of a terrible run here last year, though, Adam.
His race ended with hard contact into the turn 3 wall last year. As we see Kevin Lacroix poke his nose to the side, maybe trying to cross over the race leader. DJ Kennington back with Alex Connect, contact in turn number 1. Goes up the racetrack. Kennington goes by. Stacy goes by. They're battling for the lead.
Now Gannett trying to get that spot back, but he's hung up on the outside, and Lacroix steal the lead away from him. He gets pinned up on the outside. LeBay's going to follow him. Ranger trying to get close enough, but got hip at that left quarter to take the lead away.
One thing Donald T just had this season is a lot of speed, but he hasn't been able to keep that speed here, and it really shortened the career of Brett Taylor, the driver from Calgary, Alberta. He crashed just past the green flag on the front straightaway. Really did some damage to the 3 machine that he was driving last year. We didn't see much of him after that.
Yeah, it kind of took the sails out of Brett Taylor. Since then, Alex Gannett has assumed that ride, done fairly well with that Asa Abloy number 3 so far this season.
Here's something we'll want to watch for. Sarah Thorne going to get the free pass. Driver the 06. So even when you get in trouble early, get spun around, you lose a lap, maybe you have to come in and pit and it takes longer than you want. You can't lose hope because these races are long. Every yellow flag, the top running car a lap down gets their lap back. So Sarah Thorne's going to be back on the lead lap.
22 complete of 250. Here today at Eastbound Park International Speedway. Want to welcome everybody watching at home. Whether you're on TSN or Flow Racing, we appreciate you joining us here today for what has become a fantastic 2023 season so far for the NASCAR Pinty Series. A lot of races still to go, a lot of road courses, still headed to the dirt, bunch of short tracks. We got a lot still to go.
And if you're watching from home, put this on your bucket list. Make a trip to St. John's, Newfoundland. Make sure you take some extra days. There is a lot to see, but come out to Eastbound Park. You will not be disappointed.
I think if you tell anybody from this province you're not from here, you automatically get treated better. It's amazing. We've been treated fantastic. Let's see how these leaders are going to treat each other as we get set to go. Lacroix gets the jump, LeBay on the outside, and that will be a good start.
They got a bit of a gap over Donald Teach, so Alex LeBay might be able to immediately get back down to the bottom. So a fortunate break for our outside pole sitter on that restart. That leaves Andrew Ranger to work the high side on Donald Teach. Brandon Watson in that 9 going to be aggressive. He wants that 4th spot. We've got some heavy hitters deep in this pack. I mean, Trayton Lapsevich, this is as far back as he's run in any race all season long.
Yeah, Marc-Antoine Cameron, after that lap 1 penalty, finds himself only getting around 7 cars so far. Now up at the front, we see Lapsevich pinned up on the outside as they'll try and freight train him. The veteran's going to try and gang up on the newcomer here. Well, he's not so much of a newcomer, but he's still young enough to be considered that, as Kennington and Dumoulin, will try and line him up on the inside.
Whoa, Trayton Lapsevich squeezes LP Dumoulin down the racetrack. Dumoulin might have clipped the inside of the wall going into turn number 1. He's going to drive deep again into 3. I believe Lapsevich this time will leave him plenty of room.
There is a little kiss right on the end of that front stretch wall. And Dumoulin pouring it in up on the inside of the 20 car.
LP Dumoulin going to make that move. DJ Kennington couldn't quite get there to keep the hole closed for Trayton Lapsevich. Lapsevich able to get down in front of that 17 machine, but a troubled run right now for Lapsevich in the 20. Cameron in the 96 is opportunity for so many other drivers because they've shared all the spotlight this year. It's been Lapsevich or Cameron everywhere we've gone.
Very true. Looking back towards the front, still Kevin Lacroix leading Alex LeBay. Then you see the gap back to Donald Teach, who's got Brandon Watson starting to apply some pressure on the back end of that Teach Auto Group number 80.
And I think Brandon Watson's just doing his homework right now. He is shadowing the 80 of Donald Teach, seeing where his car is better than the 80 car, seeing where the 80 car is better than him. He's going to look to the inside, and Teach's spotter, Marc-Patrick Waugh, right on the ball, saying the 9 cars faster. I can almost hear Marc-Patrick Waugh saying this. 9 cars faster, let him go. You've got lots of room. Get back down on line. Now get back into a rhythm.
And quickly, Watson will put some distance in front of the 80 car. Gets a length and a half already and stretches it out. Behind them, we look at the battle. Ranger trying to hold off LP Dumoulin, and Dumoulin with a better line on the bottom. And Dumoulin is on the move now after feeling pressure back there a few laps ago with Trayton Lapsevich.
LP Dumoulin with a fast WeatherTech number 47. Looking for room to battle with the 27 of Andrew Ranger. And even though it's not on camera right now, Clinton, I want to give some shout out here to Sarah Thorne in that 06. She's just at the back of this pack, but last year I want to say she was looking to get lapped within about 7 or 8 laps. They've picked up a lot of speed in that race car. She's just off the speed of the pack, but 1 or 2 adjustments could have her right up there. But we've got a tightly bunched field of race cars.
Yeah, everybody's still in the same half of the track. Nobody's really rolling up the back marker cars yet. Everybody's still running fairly well. 214, working on 215 to go.
DJ Kennington gets around the 20 of Trayton Lapsevich. He'll try to close in on LP Dumoulin, so move the Castrol Edge number 17 up one more spot to the 7th position. Marc-Antoine Cameron continues to try to mount his charge and make it back to the front. He's got a nose to the inside of Alex Gannett in that number 3. He's looking to get back into the top 10.
On our screen, we're still watching the battle here between Andrew Ranger and LP Dumoulin, with Kennington in their rear view. Trayton Lapsevich also there, so 4 of the best from the series all hung back there around 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
And how needed was this for Kevin Lacroix? This is the Kevin Lacroix we're used to seeing, going out there, being able to pace the field, challenging others to try to keep up with him. But he hasn't been that way so far this season. LP Dumoulin inside of Andrew Ranger. He'll make the pass on the number 27, at least attempt it down in 1 and 2. DJ Kennington is there as well with the 17 machine.
Slight bit of contact in the 3 last time by, and now Kennington got the nose down underneath the Ranger 27. Will be able to make that pass. Can he clear it off of 1? Not yet, but yes, now he'll get out front.
There is no driver like Andrew Ranger where you think, yep, the pass is done. No, wait a second, Andrew Ranger's coming back. Owen Groves in the 99 got up the racetrack in 1 and 2. He may have a tire down in that 99 machine. Will he be able to get across the racetrack and get it to turn down pit road? It looks like he will. A sportsmanlike move for Groves in the 99, and I'm not sure a tire is down on that 99 machine.
No, as far as I can tell, it looks like it's all up, and he's going to pull right into the pit stall. Possibly drive axle or rear end at him. We see them going under it. It would be the 4th rear end we've seen in the last 2 races.
I don't think it's a rear end because they go up in smoke and flames. It could be a track bar or trailing arm mount that's broke and shifted the rear end out of whack. The crew is a little bit puzzled as they look through the back end of the 99. Larry Jackson says that race car is better than the 84 car that he runs. Whoa, contact. The 23 of Josh Collins and the 0 of Glenn Stiers. They know the leaders are coming. It's time to go. Collins will make that move around Stiers. Here comes Sarah Thorne because Kevin Lacroix about half a straightaway back from putting these drivers a lap down.
And Lacroix with a big lead over LeBay right now. It's at least half a straightaway. Yeah, the 99 car still stuck there on pit road, left side up.
They're looking down at the right front. They're also looking under the left side of that car, so they're not sure what the issue is. I'm pretty sure of that as they try to find the issue.
Howie Scannell over there directing traffic, trying to figure out what could be wrong. And now the hold your line flag being showed to the back markers as Kevin Lacroix starting to pounce on the rear spoiler. Getting closer each time down the backstretch.
Lacroix running some pretty impressive times out there. 16.3 was his last lap. And as we look back at the cars he's about to lap, they're about 4/5 of a second slower than the race leader right now. So Kevin Lacroix going to try to pick off Sarah Thorne first in the 06. He drives to the inside. She leaves plenty of room to the 74 as they battle through 3 and 4.
Leader, first car down, and will set his sights on the back of the Stiers Racing 0 next. Josh Collins just ahead of them as well. We're currently watching the battle of LP Dumoulin and DJ Kennington. And that's the battle for 5th and 6th.
And that's the 2 closest cars on the racetrack, although a little bit deeper. 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th is pretty tight. You've got Trayton Lapsevich in the 20, and I don't think he's quite as fast as the cars behind him. Alex Tagliani, Marc-Antoine Cameron, and Brandon McFarland.
Currently 1/5 the way through the race, just past 52 laps in.
That's a lot of math.
Just under 200 to go. I know, especially on 2.5 hours sleep.
You didn't even pull out your phone. I was expecting you to crunch some numbers there.
Everybody trying to settle in here and find their way. Still looking at Dumoulin and Kennington getting around Wayne Hanlon Jr. The leader Lacroix has cleared Stiers, now working on the back of the one.
JP Bergeron in that Russo number 1. He'll go a lap. Oh, wow. Donald Teague with a lot of smoke out the back of the 80. Last time we saw him, the rear end gear.
Now, there are multiple cars with rear end gear problems.
It was the 80 of Donald Teague, the 27 of Andrew Ranger, and the 0 of Glenn Stiers. And there was a huge fireball when he finally came down into the pit. So we will see. And Donald Teague will not be happy. I can promise you that when he gets out of this 80 machine.
You know, it's one thing if you have a rough day, have part failure.
Whoa, trouble. Trouble in
Right
turn number
front.
4. Hanlon goes around.
Everybody will clear, which is a good thing.
Andrew Ranger, things were getting dicey down there as they tried to work through traffic. Andrew Ranger was right behind the 11. The crew is looking dejectedly.
They've got the jack stands out for the Teague 80. Man, 2 rear ends in 2 races, that's got to be frustrating.
I mean, the fans will be able to tell us before we will, because there is nothing that smells quite like rear end grease.
Kick in the rear end.
And this is a tough straightaway to get turned around on. Hanlon's going to have to make a bit of a 3-point turn. Nicely done.
Well, it's easy when you already don't have the fender on that side.
But no, you've got 0 margin for victory. You don't want to be banging the right front off there. So they're going to jack up the back end of this 80 car. One thing I would not want to do in the pits is change a burning hot rear end.
Hot, dirty, smelly. Nothing smells worse than rear end grease. Adam, maybe explain to the fans here why the 1 is in front of the leader, Lacroix, how this is going to shake out.
Let's look at this replay first from the speed shot. You're going to see a big crowd of cars coming up. And
did he get help from one there? Trayton?
It's hard to say. I think that he did. So as we said, every time the yellow comes out, if there are any cars lapped down, the top running car a lap or more down will get the free pass. So timing and scoring will identify them, and it's JP Bergeron in the number 1. So they'll say, okay, 1 car, you are the free pass. They don't get to go around to the back of the field and take advantage of being able to make a pit stop or being able to double up and run with the field. They have to wait until the 1 to go signal is given. When they give the 1 to go signal, then the free pass can leave past the pace car and rejoin the tail end of the field.
Hard to tell from that look once again, but certainly looked like there was a bit of contact there. And that's what happens when you're a back marker and these guys have moves to make. They will move you. They try to be courteous, but if you're in the way, you will not be in the way.
No, that's true. Donald Teague dejectedly walking up alongside the hauler. And he wears his emotions on his sleeve, does Donald Teague. But maturity is represented well there, because he needed a replacement driver a few years ago for a broken hand, which he suffered from punching his toolbox, his pit guard. He was mad. He got out of the car, and that cost him a couple of races.
But one thing about Donald Teague, he seems to be fast a lot of places, and that's got to be frustrating to not be able to bring those home when you show up with speed.
Donald Teague has blazing speed.
Dexter Stacy in the pits in the recap recovery drink, number 92.
That NASCAR official ran around the right side of the race car as though he was about to get to work on it.
Great view there on the stream for the viewers at home of that recap energy drink. Recap recovery drink, I should say. And they're just going to push that thing all the way back to Bois Chatel.
I hope it's downhill. I hope it floats.
That's one thing, get to the back straightaway. The extra bit of insult to injury, you got to push it up the back straightaway to get back to the garage area. I'm just kidding.
Last night at George Street, I saw Danny Benedict here.
Oh, really?
He made the trip to crew for Donald Teague in the 80 machine. So it's not just the driver who's disappointed, right? You've got a number of crew members. They're all ready to do their job. And when things don't go their way, it's disappointing for them as well. Look at Trayton Lapsevich in that 20 machine heading down pit road. The team has the jack out.
But the way he's nosing in there at him doesn't look like they're expecting a quick problem.
No, they're planning on putting that car on jack stands because they've got the jack stands out. Now they've backed up the 20 car, and they might be sending him back out.
what's that about?
They were just psyching out the competition.
So were they told they're not allowed to work on that car and send them back out?
I'm not sure. NASCAR officials down there having a conversation. So Trayton Lapcevich's crew chief is his father, Jeff Lapcevich.
They obviously wanted to do something or felt they needed to do something.
Todd Lewis from TSN is on the scene down there. Lots of conversations being had. Whenever you see them reach their hand up to their helmet, they're cueing the radio. So Jeff Lapcevich right now is talking to his driver and or his spotter.
Well, whatever they were going to do, maybe they realized it was only going to be a quickie yellow and they had to get back out there and it wasn't the time to mess with whatever they were going to try and mess with. What could they be messing with, Adam, at the point that they're going to send them back out into competition? It can't be something major or catastrophic, you would think.
If they think they've got a shotgun bad,
yeah.
If you think you've got a shotgun bad, you've got to jack the car up, but you would use jack stands for safety. Green is out once again. Kevin Lacroix on the inside in that blue and yellow 74. Alongside him is big time.
Ranger goes around, does the old 360 spin, and keeps going.
We are still under green. What a job by the officials to let that play out. My goodness, did that ever shuffle the deck? Nice job by these drivers.
Great job, yeah, by them to get around it without causing a bigger problem right in the middle of the pack.
I want to look at the 20 of Lapcevich as he comes off the corner, Clint. Look at the right side, the attitude of that car.
Yeah, I would say, Adam, there's definitely some wheel well, some
when it saggage,
down. Shrinkage in that right side.
Is that the condition? That water was cold.
Better behave. Got trouble. Got trouble.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I got a shock story out for the next caution.
I can't wait.
It's shocking. Lacroix back out front with about a 3-car length lead over the 24 of LeBay. Now those guys, they race each other a lot over the years, right? They know each other and each other's style. How about Brandon Watson still holding on third? And LP up to fourth. Good run for the multi-time champion.
And this is a part of the race where you want a bit of track position. You're not going to overextend your car. You're not going to overwork your car. When we get to the halfway break, that is a time for these teams to go to work on these race cars. So you want to give your team the best feedback you can give in preparation for whatever adjustments you want to make at the halfway break. Oh, trouble in turn number 4. J.P. Bergeron with Josh Collins. And if I'm Bergeron, I want to find reverse as quick as I can and that one machine get down off the 23. Wisely, they didn't keep those cars spinning because that would have been an abrupt introduction to the end of the wall in turn number 4.
Trying to work off of one another. '99 car coming back to the Speedway. That's a good sign.
I'm sorry. I think I've had McFarlane and Collins mixed up this whole race. It's Brandon McFarlane in the 23. Ocean X, Miller Lite.
So we need a truck or some big gents over there to try and get this one out. Take a moment to get one car off the other. Probably going to need a wrecker. We get a replay coming in here.
Yeah, and that contact, it was the follow-through that really did the damage. And I guess you don't want to grab reverse and back off, but at the same time, you don't want to lose lap after lap either. So that's a tough spot to be in. DJ Kennington came into the pits, and he coasted in.
Hood immediately goes up on the Castrol Edge, number 17. Rick Verburn and the crew going to work to see what could be wrong with the Castrol machine.
So since I've been mixing up Josh Collins and Brandon McFarlane, I've got to give a shout out to Josh Collins, who's having by far his best run of the season in that 56 machine, running up inside the top 10. As Glenn Steyer's the free pass recipient under this yellow.
Crew continue to go to work on the DJK 17.
I almost wonder if plug wire? No.
Is that a rat hose?
That can't be a rat hose.
Well, it didn't come off the carburetor where they had it right there, but Yeah, and I don't see fluid out from underneath.
No, nobody is going to grab a rad hose in that situation.
No, he's got a spare, obviously, in his hand, but what's the point of it?
So unless they're losing pressure out the rad, so unless there is a pinhole in a rad hose, but how do you address that? So we've been pretty good at getting updates this season from Joel Robinson, our producer with Fuel Media Lab, as we go to a red flag. We're going to take a quick break here on the stream, and when we come back, there'll be more from Eastbound International Speedway. What a break right now for J.P. Bergeron in the 1 and the 23 of Brandon McFarland, because all they were doing was losing laps as they tried to separate these cars. And for the amount of time it's taken, they would have lost an additional 5 laps. So as it is, they are not down nearly as many laps as they could have been. We got a little bit of an issue with timing and scoring. I'd like to tell you exactly what the running order is.
Well, we got one wrecker here with the 1 car. Gets the Bergeron machine off of the 23 car.
And once they set them down, I'm not sure, because I don't see much fluid down. Don't see any fluid down.
Well, they're definitely going to have body issues. They're going to have to get that hood of the 1 car back to its pit stall.
I'm going to go check timing and scoring real well. I'll wait till they get rolling again.
Brandon McFarland gets rolling. He'll drive by, and you can see the nose all busted up on that car. So that will likely just get torn off, or they may try and tape it up. But
and that will be a competitive advantage to Brandon McFarland. There is no aerodynamic advantage to these bodies. So if you can peel the bodywork off of the front of these cars and expose your tires and your brakes, the cooling effect that the open air has by far outweighs any aerodynamics on these cars.
Now, we don't anticipate a problem with that 23. He was probably told to stop because we're under red.
I would imagine. J.P. Bergeron heading down pit lane. So that's a Dave Jacobs Racing entry. The team car to that is the 24, normally driven by Thomas Neva. This weekend it's Alex LeBay, and he has that car in the 2nd spot.
Well, also, they're not going to let them get to work on the 1 of Bergeron just yet, as we are under red flag. They cannot work. They'd get a competitive advantage, whereas the McFarland 23 would not, because he would be stuck out on the speedway under the red. So crew's able to assess the damage and get a good look at the problem. That's about the only advantage they have at this point in time.
So all those wreckers and tow trucks, turns out they weren't even necessary. It's still good that they were there. I guess they had to be there to peel the cars apart.
Yeah, to pick one off the other. So we will wait for NASCAR Pinty Series flagger Mike Charret to go back to yellow. We'll see if we have anybody come in the pits. Well, we know the 23 is headed for the pits.
Yeah, the front end of that, all the body work hanging down underneath the front end. The crew devising a plan there, and they're actually, you can see them where they're talking about cutting that body off at the front.
I got to wonder how much chassis damage we're seeing on the 23.
They're pretty rugged race cars.
Obviously, the fiberglass nose and fenders are gone. Well, fenders anyways. Polymer nose still in place.
So the safety vehicles have now made their way off the racetrack. Mike Charest still with the red flag in hand there over the track, but we will await them display the yellow. Looks like they're tidying up the entrance to pit road. There's the hood off the JP Bergeron number 1 if you're looking for a souvenir later on. Yard sale and turn number 4. Yellow flag displayed by Mike Charest. So the DJ Kennington crew able to go back to work on that Castrol Edge 17. The Rousseau number 1 at JP Bergeron. They are ripping the fenders apart on that.
Throw it to Todd. Let's go down and see what Todd's got for us.
Did, and the crew for the 1 has gone to work. They're cutting away the bodywork and the fiberglass of that car. The engine's running, sounds fine. They're going to cut away some of the brake duct work as well, but they think that JP Bergeron should be able to continue here this afternoon, even after mounting that 23 in corner 4.
Thanks, Todd.
You know, Clint, for 15 years I've called these races, and Todd Lewis has worked pit road. And for 15 years, I never got to know what he was saying until if I happened to be working on the broadcast that week.
Yeah.
All that time, he did his job.
Now
we
we
had
have the
no
ability.
idea.
But good to see it. And you see them, the biggest thing they've got is they've got all those ductworks. You got brake ducts, you got cooling ducts. So they're still trying to zip tie or tape them up in a spot where they're still going to be semi-effective.
You don't need them. Once that body's gone, as long as you can rip the nose off the car, you want to rip all the ductwork off as well. So it's just wide open.
I don't think they got the message. They were trying to get it back in place. Let's look at the McFarland 23. They are just going to try and rip as much of that apart as they can. We see parts and pieces being thrown onto the ground beside the 23 Ocean X machine.
1 to go to the green, and Andrew Ranger is down pit road in the GM Paillet 27. They're going to come in with an adjustment, a handling adjustment on the right rear corner of that race car. Looks like they're going to tape up a little bit on the right front of that car.
Yeah, no, not wasting any time getting them back out. So obviously felt an adjustment was warranted, and at that moment, let's put a bit of tape on the cracks and make sure we're ready to go.
They went back to a yellow flag condition, so here comes JP Bergeron back on the racetrack, and that front end has been absolutely rearranged. And it looks like
We have seen drivers run well in that configuration before.
here comes Trayton Lapsevich again in the 20 machine. What are they going to do? The jack comes out, jack stands in hand, and I believe they've got a broken shock on the right front. I believe you might see them try to change a shock. Oh, I do not like seeing a crew person under there before the jack stand gets under there.
It's there now, so that's a good thing.
Because
But you're not wrong.
if the jack's going to fail, it's going to fail while you're putting it up, not while it's laying there. But these crews,
I think it was a spring rubber at him. They just pulled the spring rubber out of that right front.
there's more to
No,
it.
when he jumped out,
Yeah.
he held it up, and it was like a half a spring rubber in that right front spring.
They'll keep an eye on the 20 machine as the race goes on, but it looked funny. The attitude of that car just looked strange the last number of laps. JP Bergeron back down pit road.
Crew taking a look at their work, make sure everything's back in place and where it needs to be.
And the gauges will tell you immediately. Like if it starts to run hot, if the water temperature's starting to come up, then they'll know immediately, hey, we got to open things up. Something is not getting to the radiator. But we're about to go green with Kevin Lacroix leading the way in the 74. Alex LeBay in the 24 alongside. 76 laps are complete.
Lacroix with a good jump over LeBay. Watson going to fill the gap on the inside and try and crane that 24 back. Oh, he gets into him a little bit in 1 and 2.
Down the back straightaway, Brandon Watson with the advantage. Alex LeBay still up high. Look at Marc-Antoine Camerand all the way back up to 4th in that 96 machine.
Josh Collins making moves on the inside of Tagliani and slides it up there in front of the 18 and will take that position away.
Trouble again for the 99 of Owen Groves. All sorts of smoke out from under the 99 machine as he tried to brake going down into turn number 1. Drivers scattered to avoid him.
74 being told jumped at him on that last. Oh, not yet.
It is under review.
Got you.
The term we use is the restart is under review.
So they're looking at it to see if we can figure out where the problem was, or if there even was one.
So what they do on starts and restart, there are multiple officials, and they're all watching something different for from the restart. If any one of the officials sees something that they think needs to be looked at, they'll immediately say the restart is under review. And they generally, over the officials' radio, will let the teams know that restart is under review so that it's not a surprise 10 laps later if a penalty is issued. So we'll have to wait and see. Andrew Ranger's bad luck continues in that 27 as he heads down pit road to the attention of Jeff Wilcox and the rest of the 27 crew.
Ultra slow, and the way they nose it in like that is not a good sign, and now they give it the cut it. So it looks like Ranger maybe out of this one, as they have shut down the car by the looks of it.
Man, oh man, he cannot catch a break this season. When it rains, it pours for the 27 of Andrew Ranger.
Lacroix with a big margin.
Yeah, about 8 car lengths from Lacroix back to Alex LeBay, maybe 10 car lengths, but right behind LeBay, you've got Brandon Watson in the 9, the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron, the 47 of LP Dumoulin, and again, Josh Collins in that 56. What a great drive he's giving these fans.
He's been on the move.
Comfortably in the top 10. There's not a mark on that race car, so his familiarity with this racetrack is paying off for the driver from Placentia, Newfoundland.
LeBay working in that spot, second right now. Still got a length or two out in front of Watson. Marc-Antoine Cameron has rebounded from his early penalty.
Larry Jackson in the 84 is holding up a string of cars. The 92, Dexter Stacy. The 3, Alex Gannett. Trayton Lapsevich in the 20. And the 18 of Alex Tagliani. So that's 7th place, back to about 12th place. Jackson will give up the inside to Dexter Stacy. Alex Gannett goes way up the racetrack. Not sure if that was before contact from Trayton Lapsevich or if the 20 car might have got into the 3 a little bit there.
There we get a look at 2nd, 3rd, and 4th on the stream. Cameron trying to make up that gap to the back end there. Not really pulling in too tightly on the Watson 9 as of yet. We have 160 laps to go this 250 lap race, 90 in so far.
This is a long race for these drivers. You know, they want to be settled in. There's been a little bit more contentious racing than there's needed to be this early in the event. I think the driver right now with the smartest, not necessarily the smartest play, but the best play is Josh Collins. He's solidly on the lead lap, running all by himself. Just turn in laps for now. They don't matter at this point.
Got nobody really putting pressure on him from the back. Got no real pressure from the front, if you will, or anybody that he's putting pressure on.
He's just living in his own little area of racetrack, lap after lap, hitting his marks.
And it's a great way to put a big chunk of the race behind you if you can.
The only other driver in that type of position is Kevin Lacroix out in front in that 74.
Sarah Thorne and Glenn Stiers with contact on the front straightaway with that time by. They both will survive.
DJ Kennington has climbed out of the 17 machine, so his day is done. A rare DNF for the 17 at Kennington.
Got 2 other cars still on pit road as well. Owen Groves in the 99 back there once again, and the 27 of Andrew Ranger now has both sides of the car up on jack stands. And they got to be wondering what's going on in the drivetrain of that one. 2nd race in a row out with problems.
Yeah, the car's up in the air on jack stands, but no one is really going to work too quickly. You know his race is done when the camera crew is reaching in to pull out the onboard camera.
Very true. It's a telling sign, that's for sure. Now we've got Cameron putting heat on the back bumper of Watson. A little kiss into one that time.
Things have been quiet for the last number of laps. We're nearing the century mark in this one. It'll be 98 laps complete this time around, so we're getting close to the midway break within 25 laps. So a Saturday night special between now and the midway break, and these teams will be able to get to work. So at this point,
football is all about smart moves, quick reads, and being one step ahead. Same goes for the Chevy Silverado. It's everything I need in a truck: power, range, and all the best tech. Dependability comes standard. This truck moves fast, plays smart, and plays to win. Chevy Silverado, ready for your next play. Visit your local New England Chevy dealer today.
you're actually starting to think, if I'm Marc-Antoine Cameron, I don't want to restart fourth. I'd rather restart fifth than restart fourth. So he's either got to make a move and pass Brandon Watson or consider letting the 47 of LP Dumoulin go by. And we know Marc-Antoine Cameron, the answer is almost always going to be move forward.
Yeah, we're not letting him go by. Cameron again into the back of Watson and shoves him up turn one.
Brandon Watson is a crafty short track racer, so he knows what he feels is acceptable, and he'll know if he thinks it's too early to be racing like that or if it's suitable to be racing like that. We're about to find out if he thinks it's acceptable.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too.
Because if he doesn't, he'd go in and give it right back to Cameron. The fact that he didn't drive it that much deeper into the turn to knock Cameron up out of the groove tells me, Clinton, okay, he's a bit quicker right now. I'm just going to hang out here and wait until the break and adjust my way faster.
Yeah, the fact that Cameron could gap him that fast probably was a wake-up call to Watson that maybe I should have let him go.
Now Cameron overdrove turn one that last time by. It allowed Watson to close right back in the 9 machine. So I'm sure Watson won't make his life easy if the opportunity arises.
LP Dumoulin, 47 WeatherTech Dodge, right behind them as they work onto the Sarah Thorne 06. Off to turn 3 they go. Cameron has to back out to give the lap car a bit more room. That's going to bring Watson and Dumoulin to the back bumper.
Our timing and scoring is not working the way we would like it, but unless my eyes deceive me, Alex Lebay is closing the gap on race leader Kevin Lacroix. He's not closing in quickly, but he's closing in lap after lap, just a little bit every lap.
Not anybody up in front of the Lacroix 74, so he's got clean track in front with some time to just keep logging laps.
Yeah, Kevin Lacroix, there's not a mark on the right side of that race car. Let's have a look at the left side as he works off of turn 2. That is a clean Napa 74 machine for Kevin Lacroix. That's how you want your car to look at the 107 lap mark of a 250 lap race. Some of these cars showing some signs of aggressive racing, but for the most part, they're pretty clean out there.
Saw some great action so far. A lot of drivers with trouble, though. A long way to come to not be able to finish all 250 circuits here of Eastbound Park.
Josh Collin has been caught by the 92 of Dexter Stacy, the 20 of Trayton Lapsevich. Both of those drivers get to the inside of the 56. Both of them are going to make that pass. Josh Collin still in the top 10 in the winging at number 56 machine. And now that these drivers have gone past him, he's actually going to be able to learn a little bit about how the 20 of Trayton Lapsevich is working and where he might be a little bit quicker.
Well, Lapsevich is certainly a good guy to watch lately. What racecraft this youngster has. Working on his education as well.
He's in business school, and he is a smart young man.
Looking at Watson and Dumoulin right now. Watson with a single car length advantage out front of that 47 WeatherTech Dodge. That's the battle for 4th and 5th right now. Watson in 4th. LP Dumoulin trying to take it away. No pressure from the back. It's a long way back to Dexter Stacy.
Kevin Lacroix to the outside of McFarlane. McFarlane gives him plenty of room. Few cars in a row with extensive damage. McFarlane, Hanlon, and up ahead JP Bergeron in the 1. Hanlon gets well out of the way of the race leader. In fact, I think Hanlon might be bringing that 11 car down pit road.
Ooh, almost thought about it, but wow, that was close to the inside barrier.
That was a sharper left turn than I think that car was prepared to make, whether he wanted to or not.
10 laps before the halfway break.
Hanlon's back up to speed now. LP Dumoulin all sorts of loose in that WeatherTech 47 as he's trying to chase down the 9 of Brandon Watson, or at least keep pace with that 9 machine. It is a long way back from LP Dumoulin to the next car in line, which is Dexter Stacy, more than a full straightaway back.
Working around the Wayne Hanlon Jr., number 11, is Watson and Dumoulin. The leaders up front all by themselves. Kevin Lacroix on the front straightaway just entering turn 1 now. You got about a half straightaway back to Alex LeBay running in the second position. Then a half straightaway back to Brandon Watson and LP Dumoulin. So the field stretched out fairly well here.
Everybody getting comfortable, Clinton, and that is a product of midway break races, right? You don't see people get too silly at this point in the race because they know they're about to get a break. So unless they really want to change their restart position, and for the most part at this point they don't, you're where you're going to get to. So it's just a matter of putting in laps, keeping the corners of the car clean.
6 and a bit to go before the break.
Marc-Antoine Cameron closing in on Alex LeBay in that 24 machine. That's a battle for the second spot, so second and third. We talked about LeBay closing in on Lacroix. Lacroix has put on the afterburners. He's more than half a straightaway ahead of Alex LeBay, who's got Marc-Antoine Cameron right behind him, and then another half straightaway back to 4th and 5th. Brandon Watson in the 9, the 47 of LP Dumoulin.
A long way back behind them to find Dexter Stacy and Trayton Lapsovich. They've got a big distance to make up here, but thank goodness for them, the halfway break is coming.
Alex Tagliani trying to put pressure on Josh Collins in the 56. So down through 3 and 4 they go. Collins letting the car move up the racetrack. So he enters the corner on the bottom and then lets the momentum kind of take him up a lane or two. Alex Tagliani able to keep the 18 car down to the bottom of the track. We'll see if he tries to make a move as they approach the slower car of Glenn Stiers.
Watson way loose that time as we watch it on the screen here. And he got way loose coming into one that time.
I almost wonder, I saw a number of cars getting loose down on the inside groove of the racetrack, and I actually see a few cars running higher on the track than they were, particularly from the middle of turn 3 and 4 to the exit of turn 4.
Get ready to bring out the halftime yellow for our break. And yeah, they are getting very loose on the bottom of 4, Adam.
Halfway signal from Mike Charret. Josh Collins way up the racetrack. Tagliani's got around. Larry Jackson trying to make a pass as well. Again, they generally won't call the midway break as long as there's a position being contested. So now that that spot has changed hands, they should allow the lap to complete, which means it's got to get all the way around until the 3 car of Alex Gannett goes by, and then they will likely throw the yellow at some point now with everybody single file once again.
Still under green for the time being. But we are expecting the yellow to fly here shortly, and Charret reaches for it, and there it is.
You know what? I almost thought maybe it's not a brake race. He just put the yellow flag away. I'm sure it was a brake race.
I started having those panics too.
I'm going to have a word with Mike Charret later about putting that yellow flag away. So the midway break is upon us. 128 laps complete. Wayne Hanlon in the 11. I think not quite sure what to do, but you don't want to go into the pits just yet. Close up behind the pace car. They'll bring the free pass up and around immediately, and then they'll send these cars to pit road. And once the final car has come to a stop and killed their engine, then the midway break of 5 minutes will begin.
Well, you know, some of the teams have been waiting to make those adjustments. You got to know the conversation been going on. Just hang in there. We're close to getting you what you need, be it adjustments, a drink, just a breather for a couple moments.
Race car drivers are grumpy people by nature, Clinton, because unless you're the leader, something is wrong with your car. So there's a lot of drivers out there grumbling. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, it'll be time to call the midway break. Glenn Steyer's getting the free pass in that 0. Welcome back to Eastbound International Speedway. Cars are nosing into their pit stalls here. No work will be done on any of these cars until the final car has reached their pit stall and the engines get shut off, and then the 5-minute clock will begin. I'm curious to know if the 20 of Trayton Lapsevich, are the adjustments done? Are they finished making changes on that 20, that one quick stop that we saw, or is there more to come? Glenn Steyer's in the 0 will be the last car. Great to see Dave White at the racetrack this weekend, Clint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had a bad accident a few weeks back.
Yeah, UTV accident. So our thoughts are with Shrek. We wish him the best. But great to see Dave White out at the racetrack doing what he loves to do, and Doug Brown as well.
Yeah, team's been given the go-ahead. They'll get to work, and we'll watch them here as they jump in on it. We take right into the Lacroix and Dumoulin pit areas here at home on the stream.
So they're all going to put on their allotment of fresh General tires.
Your question about the Lapsevich car, I think they've done what they wanted to do. I mean, I don't see a ton of work going on. They're just routine changes to the right side from what we can tell from here. Marc-Antoine Cameron getting right side tires as well.
And I believe this is just a 6-tire race, so I don't think they'll put 4 fresh tires. I think they'll just put fresh right side tires on and then make any adjustments they need to make or any fixes that they need to make in the case of JP Bergeron in the 1. Oh, maybe it is a 4-tire race.
I would definitely see both sides going on a lot of these.
I used to get all the entry blanks to my email, so you knew everything that was going on. We had a production meeting while the drivers' meeting was going on, so I missed some of the vitals.
So it is a timed 5-minute period, so they'll know exactly how much time they've got to do, whether it be add fuel, change tires, make adjustments, or maybe if you're stuck in the pits prior to it, just get it fixed and get back out there if that's what it takes.
Well, you can see crew members underneath the Andrew Ranger 27, so we had thought his day was done, but with the amount of work going on, maybe it's not. Maybe they're going to try to get that car back on the racetrack, and that's about as frustrating as an experience as you can have as a race car driver, having to go out there with a car that's not 100% and do your job, which is put in laps.
Want to remind everybody for watching home, where you're watching the NASCAR Pinty Series here live from Eastbound International Speedway Park. It's the Proline 250 presented by your local Chevrolet dealers. So we appreciate all the support. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule here for the NASCAR Pinty Series. Adam, next race on the card will be at Exhibition Place, Friday, July 14th at the Toronto Indy, which is always a big deal. Then the series heads out west to Edmonton on Saturday, July 22nd, and a few days later, back to July 26th. Let's send it down pit road where Todd Lewis is standing by.
Okay, 5 guys are going to do a walk to look at.
All right, we'll give you a little bit of an update as to what's going on in pit lane. The 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron, a little bit loose, so they're going to make a small handling adjustment there. The 47 of LP Dumoulin, he wants a little bit more forward bite. So again, just a minor adjustment to that number 47 car. And your leader, the 74 of Kevin Lacroix, they have filled them full of Sunoco fuel. They've got 4 fresh Generals on. And their plan was no further adjustments, and with the way he's running, you can certainly understand why he'd want it left just that way. They just hope his tires behave the same way as that first set did, guys.
Thanks, Todd. Todd Lewis down trackside. You can catch all Todd's actual television reporting for this event when it appears next weekend on TSN. So check your local listings and make sure you pick up the NASCAR Pinty Series on our broadcast partner, TSN, here in Canada. Want to welcome everybody watching on TSN Plus across the country and internationally on Flow Racing. This is the NASCAR Pinty Series, and we're all the way about as far east as you could go in this entire country for our friends watching from around the world and down south.
Yeah, look on a globe.
I was trying to tell my kids, I said, Grandpa used to live in Nova Scotia. We go to Nova Scotia, and then we go to Nova Scotia again from Ontario, and that's about how far we are out. Mike Charest showing 1 minute with that one finger up in the air. I don't think he's telling you you're number one, Adam. Just let him know.
No, that's okay, though. Looking up and down the pit lane, so teams will be called. Once the break is done, the 74 of Kevin Lacroix will be the first car called back to the racetrack. Then they will call each car in order, in the order they're running. So you have to stop working once the 5 minutes is up. Officials will look up and down because we saw penalties handed down at Autodrome Chaudière for cars that were late getting back to the line after the 5 minutes, and it really cost them. Sam Fellows was one driver who really paid the price because he was involved in a mishap just after halfway. Never would have been back in that part of the field had he not been penalized for working for too long on that race car.
Do you feel bad for MP Waugh? Down here just sitting got nobody to talk to, all alone, waiting to cross the track again.
He's a race fan. He can take it all in.
Let's try something. Fans, while we got some quiet here and the drivers can hear you, how about a huge round of applause for all these race teams that come out? Let's try it. 1, 2, 3. Make some noise for the race teams while they can hear you now. We'll let them know what that's all about, but we certainly appreciate your hospitality. I know the teams do, and you've been fantastic hosts for us for the past 2 seasons when we come out here and looking for many more years of this.
And, of course, the unofficial meet and greet is going to be on George Street tonight. A lot of these teams will go out there with some of their team shirts on. So go out and introduce yourself. Make them buy you a drink for coming all this way.
Are we going tonight?
Yeah, we'll be on the town.
All right. Buy Adam a drink. He
said
water.
I said make them buy you a drink. So turn the tables.
Well, who's our beer garden partner here? That's what I'm drinking.
We got to talk to Mike James about that.
I actually do need to talk to Mike James. Boss number 2 wants a few cases.
He's our entertainment coordinator. Look at J.C. Payet down there. Look at that. He's so calm and cool. He's got the radio on his pant leg. So he doesn't even need to listen into what's going on. He knows they've got it covered. J.C. Payet from GM Payet. That name is on a number of race cars, but primarily the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron, the 27 of Andrew Ranger and Clinton. People need to realize what a big deal it was today to have the regional director of General Motors, Francois Hamel, here for pre-race festivities. And I mean, that would not happen without the coordination of people like J.C. Payet showing them, look, this means a lot to us as dealers representing the brand to be out here supporting grassroots motorsports. And how could Francois not be impressed to come out here and see this crowd? And I know he was down at George Street last night for the event, so really great to see him involved in not just the race, but the activities around the race and taking it all in.
Well, what we've seen in the history of this series is some great partners. And not just check writers, people who will give you your opinion. A guy like J.C. Payet, who is in talks with NASCAR all the time about what needs to be better. And those are the type of partners you want, whether it be a marketing partner or an investment partner or a team owner. Everybody's got to pull on it together, and it's great to see that open door talk at it. But you're absolutely right. To get someone like that from the corporate level to come to an event, I mean, you and I have been at this 25 years. They'll write you a check before they'll come to the event. So to get them out here is a big deal. I think it helps build those relationships and show them what their investment is really turning into.
In 2018, I needed a new pickup truck. I called J.C. Paillet. I leased my truck from GM Paillet in Quebec. I live in southern Ontario.
Yeah, you're 10 hours away.
But there was no dealership close to me heavily involved doing as much for racing as Paillet was. So even if they said, Adam, we shouldn't do business with you, maybe go closer, they did. They dropped the truck off to me in Burlington from Paillet in Quebec.
Well, it shows why they're the number one dealer in Canada. But that's what you fans should do too. If you see all these fantastic names on these race cars, if you need a service or a product, make sure you try and give these supporters your first shot. I mean, it's on them to win your business, but it's your job to give them a call and check it out. And I just look at some of the names out here, and we do have some great partners with great products and services as well. But we still have half of a great race to come. The sun is shining beautifully here today.
I had some winging at chicken wings at lunch. The NASCAR hauler had like 1,000 chicken wings, so we went down there for the production meeting, and I'm going to tell you.
This is French fry country today.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
So they'll give them a couple laps here to warm stuff up, right? Explain to the fans what's going to happen here.
They're making sure the field is in the order they want it to be. Folks, these cars are going to be a handful at this restart. These are brand new tires. They're not scuffed in. They are ice cold. So it's going to be tough sledding for these drivers. You're going to see them sliding around the racetrack for a little while. That's what we're about to witness. The laps don't start clicking off until they take the green flag. So these laps have not counted. But when the green flag flies at a turn number 4, we'll begin the clock once again, and 120 laps will remain in this Proline 250.
And watch them as they get off to turn number 1. Things could be very dicey. Now, they were riding to the halfway point. They know it's go time. Maybe not yet, but they know they have less than half the race to go.
Kevin Lacroix is going to have trouble here. Remember the trouble Donald Teague had starting the race on the inside. Green is out. You can see those cars getting all sorts of squirrely under acceleration. They take them down into 1 and 2. Drivers doing a great job keeping them under control. Kevin Lacroix out in front by a couple of car lengths. Then it's side-by-side battle between Marc-Antoine Cameron in the 96 and the 24 of Alex Lebay.
Everybody clean for lap 1. Watson on the inside there in the number 9 car. 4th in line on the bottom, trying to pin that 47 up on the outside is 20 of Lapsevich. He's going to try and stick the nose in there and take him to the bottom.
Dexter Stacey drove it really deep down into turn 3. What great battles there at the tail end of the top 5 out in front. The top 4 have all gotten single file. They're running the lines they want to run behind that. Trayton Lapsevich in the 20 on the inside. LP Dumoulin up on the high side.
Great side-by-side battle there for 5th and 6th position. Dexter Stacey hanging in the mix too, but out front, Kevin Lacroix leading Alex Lebay and Marc-Antoine Cameron with the battle. Watson and Lapsevich nose to tail, nearly getting to that inside barrier off of 4.
Watson to the inside of Cameron. This could be a tough run for Marc-Antoine Cameron. He gets up out of the groove. Does he have a problem, or is it just getting up out of the groove? He's lost 2 spots. He's on his way to losing a 3rd, and there is not a break in that line. Dexter Stacey is next.
Oh, Cameron was coming across the nose. Whether Stacey liked it or not, no harm, no foul. There was room, and it was clean. Off of 4, once again, your leader, Kevin Lacroix, leading the Alex Lebay 24.
Up Kevin Lacroix with that advantage, about 10 car lengths over the 24 of Lebay. Brandon Watson back up to the 3rd spot. Oh, trouble.
56 around.
Josh Collins in the winging at 56. You could see the exhaust out the back. He had that thing fired up while it was still rolling backwards.
And he got up along the backstretch wall at the midpoint there. And yeah, tore off the right front fender of the 56 machine.
little bit of
I
cosmetics.
think they could probably tape that up.
Yeah, as long as the steering wheel's still pointed straight.
And the beauty of the nice clean walls, it's pretty easy to tell. I think straight across from us, just a little scuff mark there, and that's where it started. For Josh Collins in the wing at 56.
Our master in the truck might be able to get us a look at that. Might not. You ever remember, like in the old days, those carnivals where there'd be like 8 instruments, someone pedaling the thing and noises coming out? That's what I picture the production truck like.
Like a calliope, I think that's what they called it back in the day.
Wow, you're so much older than me. So Sarah Thorne going to get the free pass. And I'm not sure if that puts her back on the lead lap, but if it does, what a great job. And again, it's about running clean laps. It's about avoiding the mishaps. And she got into one early on. It's about limiting your mistakes, right? Didn't have the speed of the 27 of Andrew Ranger or the 17 of DJ Kennington, but those cars had problems. That's how you make up those spots sometimes. You take them wherever you can get them. And if you're around running at the end of the race, you've got a shot at a good result. It looks like Andrew Ranger and that GM Pi A27, they might be getting that car ready to come back to the racetrack. A couple of teammates pull into the pits. The Ocean X23 of Brandon McFarlane and the Wingin' at 56 of Josh Collins.
Yeah, they are putting fuel in that Pi A27 of Andrew Ranger, torquing the wheels down. So whatever was wrong with it, Whitey and the crew have got it back.
And if nothing else, you want to get out there. You want to run these laps to know what the car is doing. I mean, Andrew Ranger, will his heart be in it? No, but he's a professional race car driver. He knows what's tasked of him, and he'll want to go out there and give some information to that crew.
But still, with 100 laps or so to go, you know, a lot of drivers can still fall out of this. You can still pick up positions. It is still a points day. And being a former champion, he knows they're not all gems. You know, some days are going to be work.
Field doubling up for this restart. Kevin Lacroix has done a great job. Remember, the one restart was under review. So the restart zone, there is usually cones in the fence, but because this fence is so far away, there'll be a restart zone. It is probably those 2 red lines on the inside wall. You see one red line on the inside wall right about where the yellow line is across the track in turn 4, and that second red line. That's the grace area Kevin Lacroix has. He could restart at any point between those marks.
Decent start again, and away we go. Watson tucking right up under the bumper there, trying to put that LeBay 24 back into row number 3. He knows how tough it is, and if you can pin him up on the outside and get some freight train help from the back, you could be all alone in second before too long. And wow, he's clawing up to try and get that spot.
And if you're Trayton Lapsevich, you know Alex LeBay is a smooth and an excellent race car driver, so you don't worry about sending it deep into the corner right on his back bumper. Things didn't work out that time, and Alex LeBay is moving back. But look at Brandon Watson pressuring race leader Kevin Lacroix on the 9 machine.
Yeah, I'm shocked LeBay has not tried to get to the inside. He had the gap there between Dumoulin and Lapsevich, but decided to keep it up on the outside groove. Watson is roll over the back bumper of Lacroix, 74. He's got a great piece right now, does that 9.
And what a tactician. Brandon Watson is driving that car into the corner and putting the front end right on the left rear corner of Lacroix. He's not hitting Lacroix, but if Lacroix checks up a little bit, it'll nudge him just enough to get to the inside. Alex LeBay is all the way out of the top 5 in that 24, and we've got a new race leader. It's Brandon Watson in the 9.
Yeah, pulls that Leland machine up to position number 1. Looking very well out front of Kevin Lacroix now. How about LP Dumoulin up to 3rd, Adam? He's been hanging around the top 10 all day, and Lapsevich with those adjustments coming to the front once again.
Restarts change everything, especially these double file restarts that we've always run in this series, Clinton, but it really does bunch the field up. You make a couple of good moves on a restart, you avoid one mishap, and all of a sudden you're well inside the top 10.
Watson starting to gap. Second place, Lacroix by about 4 car lengths. Then LP Dumoulin, Trayton Lapsevich, and Marc-Antoine Cameron round out the top 5.
Everyone single file all the way through that top 10 or 11 cars. And basically nose to tail, a bit of a gap between the 84 of Larry Jackson back to the 0 of Glenn Stiers. Here goes Alex Gannett to the inside of Dexter Stacy in the 92. He'll make that move in turn 3. Contact between the 3 and the 92, but give Gannett that position. Right in the center of the corner, they did some rubbing. Both of them got out of shape. That allows Alex Tagliani to get to the inside of the 92 at Dexter Stacy, and he'll try to do the same thing in 3 and 4.
Can't quite do it though. Stacy holding on the outside, but now Tagliani will get through. Stacy gets a bit loose into 1. That'll bring Larry Jackson to the inside of that battle as well.
Change your position further up. Trayton Lapsevich moves up to 3rd, getting around LP Dumoulin. Dumoulin able to close the door on Marc-Antoine Cameron to maintain his 4th spot. That's half the battle, Clinton. When you're going to lose a spot, make sure you minimize the damage and you only lose 1 spot, not 5, 6, which is easy to do if you get shuffled out of the groove.
So now are the crew telling Watson, take it easy. Just ride here, bud. You got a big lead.
Hard to say. Trayton Lapsevich in that 20 works his way up to the 2nd spot. LP Dumoulin going to try to follow him through, so he was running 3rd for the longest time. He's going to try to run 3rd once again. It's possible something on this new set of General Tires just not settling in as well as Kevin Lacroix would have liked.
Well, that's exactly what Todd Lewis told us. He was hoping the set was as consistent as this one, and maybe not, or maybe just not up to temp and speed yet where he wants it.
Marc-Antoine Cameron putting the pressure on Kevin Lacroix. Right behind him is Alex Labbé. Out in front, having his way right now is Brandon Watson. He's got about 12, 15 car lengths over Trayton Lapsevich. Lapsevich up to 2nd, is not pulling away from LP Dumoulin in the WeatherTech 47.
Watson still got a good gap here. Increased the lap more and more. Now you got Marc-Antoine Cameron looking on the inside of Lacroix. He gets the nose down. Lacroix way up high, and Cameron will drive it through.
Lacroix gave the inside to Marc-Antoine Cameron. He knew he didn't quite have the speed, and he actually gave that lineup probably a corner before he really needed to.
Watson still way out front. Lapsevich 2nd. Dumoulin running in position number 3. 4th Cameron. 5th Alex Labbé. And now here comes Alex Gannett into the battle underneath the Lacroix 74.
Just glance down pit road. That Napa pit.
Football is all about smart moves, quick reads, and being 1 step ahead. Same goes for the Chevy Silverado. It's everything I need in a truck. Power, range, and all the best tech. Dependability comes standard. This truck moves fast, plays smart, and plays to win. Chevy Silverado, ready for your next play. Visit your local New England Chevy dealer today.
Crew, they're all having a conversation. They were all huddled together talking with crew chief Don Thompson Jr., and now they've scattered. So I'm not sure what they think might be going on with that 74 machine, but
Now is that Donnie Thompson walking down into the turn to get a good look at what's going on with his car in corner entry?
that's exactly what's going on. So if he has a slow leaking tire, I mean, that could be an issue. But they will only lose air for so long before something fails.
Crew chief down there trying to get a good look at that left side of the Lacroix machine. Wayne Hanlon Jr., Sarah Thorne just up in front of the leaders. Watson will have to take it to the wide side, and that's going to cost him. And here comes Lapsevich into a 1 car length disadvantage now for the leader.
A lot of leaders, if I recall, have been passing Sarah Thorne on the inside, but Brandon Watson, the way they want the lead lap cars doing is passing the slower cars on the outside. But wow, Wayne Hanlon way up under that groove, and that number 11 LP Dumoulin, watch out.
Ooh, I thought Hanlon just did it to get up out of the groove, but then came back down a little bit. Everybody will get through clean on the 11 so far.
It's fine and good to get up out of the groove until you're on corner exit and you're up in the marbles and you're out of control. You've got to get back down towards the racing groove.
Watson Lapsevich driving away from the pack here. Can Lapsevich make the most of those pre-break adjustments?
Well, we're going to find out. He 2 for 3 on the season, an amazing record. He has led more laps in the first 3 races than anybody in the history of this series with, I believe, 521 laps led. Whoa, trouble in turn 1. Alex Gannett goes around. Alex Tagliani goes around. Hanlon to the outside. Everybody going to take evasive action. Oh, no, Tag, you don't want to go in there.
Oh, what is he doing?
Okay, Tagliani's a smart dude. Transponder timing and scoring only works on the front straightaway, so he already crossed that lap. Timing and scoring works on pit road just like it does on the racetrack, but that fella in the black t-shirt is about to get a big surprise because he's going to have a stock car coming around the building. And he just jumped out of the way of Alex Tagliani, who gets back to pit road. He's not lost a lap yet.
And didn't pick up any positions either.
As calmly as he could, got himself back into it. I commend Alex Tagliani for not losing his head.
Well, a bit of strategy there, drive past your crew and get a quick look.
Well, I mean, that was the only way back to the racetrack as well. So Tagliani, I commend him for that, but I did see it coming. The fella in all black and red shoes down there at the end. This is going to get exciting.
Yeah, talking on his phone, not paying attention.
He got out of the way pretty quick, though.
Yeah, well, when a NASCAR Pinty's car barks at you from behind, you pretty much figured out. Oh, Tagliani up there.
Pulls up alongside Alex Gannett. I think he told him he was number 1. I cannot confirm. He's inviting him for a drink on George
Could have been
Street.
the peace sign, but not sure about that. Yeah, so post-race award ceremony going to take place on the stage at George Street.
When we look at the replay, and
I look like Alex Gannett just lost it on his own.
it looks like Gannett started to go around. Tag got to the back of him, and he had to lock it up. Down pit road comes Dexter Stacy in the 92, Kevin Lacroix in the 74, and Alex Gannett in the 3.
So Kevin Lacroix, what are they going to do over there? They're going to the tire rack, Adam.
And it's tough to tell if you've got a tire going down, but it's not flat. It's hard to tell which one it is. So what will happen, they only have the tires they started the race on, plus the tires that they changed to. So they're allowed to change a tire, but only if the tire coming off the car is flat.
Trying to figure out which tire it is. They're working on that right front.
And they're having problems, so they've lost a lap on pit road. They did not have the air wrench ready from the looks of it.
Not a great pit stop here for Lacroix.
So what's going to happen? If that tire is not flat, they're going to take it off. The NASCAR official will look at the tire and determine if an emergency tire was necessary or not.
Don Thompson Jr. shaking his head, dejected, the crew chief down there. Can't believe they had such a good day going, and now it has slipped away. Coming back to green, Lacroix is half a lap behind. And wow, did the Napa machine fall out of the tree today?
You know what, though? One more yellow, and he's right back where he wants to be because he's one lap. And here comes that yellow. Hanlon goes around in the number 11, sits backwards in turn number 1, so the yellow flag comes out. And we may see Lady Luck shine on the 74 of Kevin Lacroix unless Sarah Thorne in the 06 was ahead of him, and she might be just the 1 lap down.
She's definitely ahead. The number of laps down is the item in question.
Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back from St. John's.
Welcome back live to the NASCAR Pinty Series at Eastbound International Speedway here in Newfoundland, Labrador, just inside Avondale. Got a report from the pits, Adam. Rick Scott, our buddy down there on the White Motorsports crew, said drive shaft issues for the 27 Avenger Ranger, so that's what they were able to fix and get him back out there.
I wonder if they had to wait for another car to fall out of the race.
To borrow one?
Yeah, and that's sometimes what you'll see if it's a part that you're not carrying on the trailer. Stranger things have happened.
That's the beauty of technology today. We can just text down to pit road, and if Rick isn't busy changing a tire down there, he will get back to us.
The answer is never far. 1 to go signal is given. Brandon Watson will set the pace to the restart. Trayton Lapsevich will restart second in the number 20. Then it'll be the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron, the 47 of LP Dumoulin. Alex LeBay has slid back in that Eviram number 24 just a little bit since this midway break restart. So he'll try to regain some spots here that he's lost.
Now, Adam, we've seen these two Ontario standouts on the front row battle each other in the APC 8 Model Series. Both of them super talented drivers. Both of them definitely belong to be in this series, and both have been fantastic additions to the NASCAR Pinty Series. Brandon Watson grabbed his first win in the season finale last year at Delaware, and Lapsevich, well, he's been the class of the field so far, along with Marc-Antoine Cameron, to start the 2023 racing season here. Green flag is out. Watson gets the jump, and away we go once more.
Really good restart for Brandon Watson on the inside. He almost brought Marc-Antoine Cameron with him, but Trayton Lapsevich with a good run around the outside of 1 and 2 will edge ahead of that 96, try to close the door off of turn 4, and he will do so. Trayton Lapsevich up to second. LP Dumoulin pedaling as hard as he can up on the high side. He's going to have to try to make that work because they are lined up single file on the bottom.
Yeah, it looked like there was contact there between the LeBay and Dumoulin machines at this point on the front straightaway last time by. Now Lapsevich, buttered up that nose and stuck it in on the 9. Scrubbed it off the inside wall just a little bit. Pardon me, excuse me, and we have a new race leader off of turn number 4, and they're loose again.
Behind them, Alex Tagliani all over the back end of Alex LeBay in the 24. At the front, Brandon Watson shadowing the 20 of Trayton Lapsevich. 182 laps complete in the scheduled 250-lap distance, so there is a lot of action still to come.
Yeah, and all the storylines are starting to bubble to the top. Marc-Antoine Cameron and Trayton Lapsevich have been knocking each other out of the way to win these races since the start of the season, and they run in positions 1 and 3 now. Brandon Watson, one of the cleanest, most tactful drivers you're going to see in this series, who's all business at him. I don't think I see him smile much. He don't laugh much. He's just about winning.
Brandon Watson will race you the way you race him. A respectful racer, he knows exactly what he needs to do, but if you show him you're willing to get physical, he is very good at playing the physical game.
He backed it into 1 there, loose on the brakes, going into the bottom of turn 1 that time. Stepped out a bit. The other Paillet Chevrolet 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron trying to make his move here. Teammate Ranger struggling with the back with drive shaft issues, but how about Tagliani? You know, we've seen him involved in that jingle not too long ago, and here he is up in the top 5 now.
You know, at Chaudière a few weeks ago in Quebec, Alex Tagliani was very fast in practice, then didn't quite show that speed in the race. This is what they want, is to have a race where the best that car runs all day long is during the race. He got really loose down into turn number 1, almost allowed LP Dumoulin to make a move on it, but Alex Tagliani looks great at the moment.
Yeah, a few of them loose under braking. And are you shocked to see Lapsevich? I mean, not shocked. We've seen the team. We know what they can do, but the way his day started, coming into the pits twice before the break, to come out here and start to pull away on Brandon Watson is a great showing here for the Steckley and Lapsevich teams.
You know, it's what makes a championship team, is being able to overcome that sort of adversity, keep their calm, and keep their game plan. And Trayton Lapsevich out in front, put some daylight between himself and Brandon Watson. Now Watson having to try to hold off Marc-Antoine Cameron. Alex LeBay looks to be back on the offensive in that 24 machine as he runs in the 4th spot, closing in on the 96.
Lapsevich with just a big lead out front, though. and starting to stretch it out more and more. We've got 60 laps to go, 6-0 on the board for your leader, Trayton Lapsevich.
Further back, Kevin Lacroix is trying to work his way through traffic. He gets around the 1 of J.P. Bergeron. The next car ahead of him will be the 84 of Larry Jackson.
Looking at 2nd through 5th there on the screen. It is the Leland number 9. Brandon Watson still holding down position number 2. Paye, 96. Marc-Antoine Cameron, defending series champion. Runs in 3rd down. Alex LeBay, former champion, back in the mix, Adam.
Great to see Alex LeBay back with the series. He's such a good short track racer. Watching Marc-Antoine Cameron, he's just not quite fast enough to mess with the 9 of Brandon Watson. Further back, LP Dumoulin looks a little bit quicker than Alex Tagliani, just can't quite find the opportunity. He'll look to the inside off of turn 4 in the 47 machine, not able to get the power down.
Dumoulin can't quite make it work. He gets stepping out on him when he gets back on the gas on corner exit. Now puts the nose underneath Tagliani, draws alongside under turn 4, and will make the pass.
Let's see now that he's got that spot, if he's able to make up any ground. Tagliani sort of overshot turn number 1 there, went up the racetrack. Alex Gannett slips by in the 3 machine, but out in front, Trayton Lapsevich continuing to pour down some impressive laps in that number 20.
Ranger slow on the back straightaway once again, the 27. That may be the end of the day for the Paye 27. Made up as much points as possible, but could be coming to the end here.
And he's staying on the racetrack.
Close in on 50 to go. Next time lead across the stripe, we will be 200 laps complete as the leader brings it off of turn number 4 on the outside of Sarah Thorne. It'll be exactly 50 to go for Trayton Lapsevich in the 20 car. Behind him, Watson fading back a fair bit. Marc-Antoine Cameron still running position number 3 with Alex LeBay behind him in the 24. Lapsevich will clear the Thorne machine. Now 2nd through 5th have to get their way through.
Once they get to clean racetrack, I want to see what kind of times all these drivers are able to turn. Trayton Lapsevich visibly pulling away from the rest of the field, but as they get to open racetrack, these cars changed quite a bit. Whoa, Marc-Antoine Cameron squeezed down on Sarah Thorne into turn number 1, got really sideways in that 96. But what we saw at the end of the first half of this race, Clinton, was the handling characteristics of these cars really start to change quite a bit.
The track has really put on some great shows here. Wide, lots of room to move around, but it is greasy on the bottom. We've seen a few of them get stepped out on both entry and exit, so it's definitely a technical track that you got to be careful on. But Lapsevich has got a half straightaway lead now over Brandon Watson and just flat out driving away in the final 50.
Still a lot of race left to come. We talk about this quite often with our short track races. This is how they are in the middle portion of the race. Generally, there's a yellow flag towards the end that bunches the field together, Clinton. I don't know why. It's just the way the races seem to go that they figure out a way to put out a yellow, to draw a yellow.
Watching the battle right now, that's 3rd and 4th on the Speedway. Marc-Antoine Cameron and Alex LeBay. Then now we're looking at LP Dumoulin and Alex Gannett as they battle just behind them. The battle for 5th and 6th. Dumoulin running in 5th right now in that black WeatherTech Dodge.
Gannett able to get into the corner a little bit lower than LP Dumoulin in the 47, but Dumoulin's doing a good job of keeping his pace, keeping his momentum as he comes off the corners. When a car is strong coming off the corners, Clint, very, very difficult to pass them.
That is probably the most satisfying place to have drive if you're a race car driver. That's when you really show what you've got. If you could get that drive and put the power down is the toughest thing. That's where the talent comes out. I mean, anybody can turn left. It's can you get it brake properly and accelerate properly is the difficult.
It's just like in golf where they say drive for show and putt for dough. Coming off of the corner is the putting. That's the real technical part where you have to be good at that or you don't stand a chance.
I like it. Second through fourth, all under a blanket as we see the LeBay 24 just ahead of him. It's Cameron's 96 and then the 9 of Watson, who looks so racy here to start the break. But now, fading back, doesn't seem to have much for Lapsevich, who keeps pulling this one out. But as you said, Adam, we've seen multiple times in this series that a yellow will change the dynamic of everything.
It certainly will, as Glenn Stiers goes another lap down in the zero machine. I'm trying to figure out, Glenn Stiers is ahead of Kevin Lacroix.
Well, they lost a lap on pit road, right?
Yeah, Trayton Lapsevich has just completed lap 213. Kevin Lacroix has completed 212. Glenn Stiers has completed 212. So Lacroix has to catch up to Glenn Stiers, pass him before Trayton Lapsevich gets to the next lead lap car, which would be Dexter Stacy in the 92, to put himself in the free pass position. So it's going to be a little while before Trayton Lapsevich catches the 92 of Dexter Stacy. How long is it going to be before Kevin Lacroix can make up that full straightaway gap on the zero of Glenn Stiers? Trouble for LP Dumoulin. He got moved up the racetrack trying to get back into the group, but he lost a lot of steam in that 47.
Less than 35 to go as the leaders put 2:15 up on the board. And this one starting to come into the final stages. We've seen a lot of things shake up in these races over the past couple of seasons at this point in the race. So even though Lapsevich looks like he's clean and green to the finish, a lot will still happen.
JP Bergeron, all sorts of loose coming off of turn 4, that time in the 1 machine. And what happens at this point of the race, there's a number of cars on the racetrack, all on different laps, so you'll find yourself in a battle with a car that you're not racing for position against. And that's often what will create a caution situation when there's a big amount of speed difference between a couple of different race cars on the track, not even battling for spots, and things don't work out. LP Dumoulin to the inside of Alex Gannett. Brandon Watson being careful to make sure nobody's able to make a move in lap traffic. He keeps the zero of Glenn Stiers to his inside. He's intentionally not passing the zero of Glenn Stiers till he gets to corner exit, and that'll make life much more difficult for the cars behind him. Maybe a little bit of contact, maybe not so intentional.
Maybe they're not going to wait for Brandon to be patient on the outside of the zero. They nearly go 3 wide down the back straightaway. And now they are 3 wide.
Oh, trouble! Brandon Watson almost made a magnificent save, and the 9 machine. Stiers goes around. And Watson
loses about 4 spots.
Fires that car up to get it spun around. He overspun it a little bit. And a lot of that will be frustration behind the wheel. At first, when he got alongside Stiers, I thought he was using him as a pick and making sure he cleared the zero at a spot on the racetrack where it was going to make life difficult for the cars behind him. But when Alex Tagliani stuck his nose in to look 3 wide, that really threw a wrench into those plans.
Stiers with some nose damage on the zero car. We can see the hood all buckled up and a right front fender issue on the zero machine as well.
And Stiers had nowhere to go.
No, Glenn was running a pretty, just mind his own business today, trying to log laps and get better as he knows he has to do. A dirt sprint car standout. We'll get a look at it here on the stream.
So, Tagliani with his nose to the inside. And what Tagliani did well was drive that car so deep that Stiers knew he was there. Brandon Watson, as we have another look, how does Brandon Watson know they're 3 wide? So he goes to take his arc into the corner. And Stiers is there on the outside because he had a car to the inside of him. So that was awkward.
Get a good look at the nose of the GSR Ohsweken Speedway car for Glenn Stiers. He's got all kinds of body damage on that one.
We don't have the audio of the spotters to know what Brandon Watson's spotter was telling him, but watch him come down into the corner. Like, he's already way up on the outside.
Did Gannett get into the back of Watson, which turned him into the side of Stiers there?
Well, let's see. No. No.
Glenn get him?
Yes.
Knocked the nose off the 0 with that contact.
Yes. So there was contact between the 0 and the 9, but like I say, you can't put that on Glenn Stiers because he had a car to his inside as well. So that gives Kevin Lacroix the free pass, puts the 74 back on the lead lap. He's been turning some decent lap time, so he'll need another yellow to be able to get up there and start with the lead lap cars, Clinton, but 27 laps to go right now. Cautions breed caution, so I don't know that we've seen the end of the yellow flags in this race. This is going to be a fantastic finish for these race fans.
We start to see the cars more and more beat up as they come around here. Had a long day here at Eastbound Park so far. Still 25 and a bit to go.
They don't need these cars again until we go out to Edmonton next month.
So let's put them in a box and take them home.
Leave it all on the table. So after Chaudière, after Quebec City, they had to load these cars and head for the ferry fairly quickly. And I don't know that crosses the mind of a lot of these drivers, but it should. But it will cross the mind of these drivers. Hey, we got a month. And spotters and crew chiefs to say, look, if you want to go get this, go out and get this. We'll fix the car if we have to fix the car, but you do what you have to do.
Never a good sign when the crew walks out with jack stands and they're going to the 9 Westman Steel machine for Brandon Watson. So obviously they found something they don't like under that one.
Sarah Thorne nosed into the trailer with that Thorne Racing 06 team. It looks like stalled the car there for a second, but gets it running again. Great experience for Sarah Thorne, been able to stay out there, run the laps. A couple laps down, but that's still a good outing. Owen Groves in the 99. It's been a frustrating day for him, but I'm sure we'll see him again. An impressive young man.
Had a great lap time in qualifying. That's a good start to your day. But like anything, you've got to put the whole day together, and that comes with time and experience.
So Kevin Lacroix, folks, if you want to watch something, watch the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. He is going to be up on the wheel. He's got places to go and a very short time to get there. Meanwhile, at the front, rivalry that's developed between the 20 of Trayton Lapsovich and the 96 of Marc-Antoine Camerand has been something spectacular. And here they are side by side to restart with 23 laps to go.
Green is out. And Gannett pushing the 96 up on the outside.
Alex LeBay hooks the bottom of the racetrack, picks up the second position. Not a good restart for Marc-Antoine Camerand.
Now they all pour it down into 3. On the bottom, Lapsovich trying to hold off LeBay.
Have we seen everything Alex LeBay has to offer in that 24 machine, or has he been holding something back? Smoke off the 9 of Brandon Watson. Not sure if that's a tire rub, but it is definitely getting significant trouble for Hamlin on the backstretch. That might be oil coming out the 9 of Brandon Watson if a couple of cars have spun out.
Stiers around the backstretch as well, so possibly Adam.
Or it could have just been a chain reaction, but time will tell as Glenn Stiers finds reverse. He'll back it up towards the wall.
So this lap will bring us closer to the finish. Still a bit to go. Don't have a great look at that. Hard to tell if it was fluid or not on the back straight, but the cleanup crew is over there, Adam, so that kind of gives us a bit of a hint.
Well, they'll definitely have a look. I mean, and if a race official sees 2 or 3 cars getting squirrely on the same straightaway, they'll go out there and have a look. Mike James, you have done about 10 to 12 different jobs today. You've been all over the place, moving at tremendous speed, considering your footwear of choice today.
Hey, my young fella jumped in a pond. I ruined my shoes. The only thing in the porch was the flip-flop, so millions of miles. But you know what? What a fabulous day. This has been incredible to see the locals really throw it down there. But this is going to be a wild last 20 laps.
Red flag being displayed, and this is something I think it's great that the NASCAR officials do. You didn't come to see a parade. No point in letting them roll around under yellow. They've got issues to deal with on the racetrack. They'll go ahead and do it. These drivers, if you shut the engines off on these race cars, which most of them will under red, it is about to get very hot inside these cars. That makes them angry. It's like poking the bear.
Yeah, I just actually was just out for a little bit, just checking on everything, and track conditions from earlier this morning, man, big time. It's pretty hot out there, and it'll be interesting to see on this restart.
Well, we brought the weather.
Oh,
you know that,
100%.
right?
Mike, tell us what we're going to see tonight down on George Street for any of the fans who might want to make the trip into town and see the post-race presentations. We're just having a party?
Yeah, it's going to be a big after party downtown on George Street. A lot of the drivers, the teams, and everybody, including you guys. Because I ducked out last year. My apologies.
You did.
Yeah.
And you just gave Clint the same head shake you gave me last night. Like we both set you up with something to say, and no. Come on, man.
I was just told. Trophy presentation will actually happen right here. We have Andrew Parsons, Minister of Tourism, as well as our ALC representative. So they'll do the trophy presentation right here for all the fans that are here for the Proline 250. And it's going to be a wild night, though, for sure. And, it's a long trip for all these teams to come to Newfoundland and Labrador. And, it's incredible to be able to see all the effort that's come into this. A lot of preparation, all those hauler drivers going the distance and then getting on the Love Boat on the Marine Atlantic, and everybody was pretty tame last night. Everybody got a job to do today, and I think tonight the wheels come off.
I think it'll be a good time, and you're absolutely right. These teams are all business. Like, they come down here, they've got a job
100%.
to do, whether you're the driver or crew person, whatever your role is. But tonight, once you load those cars up, you go back to the hotel, you have a quick shower. Now it's time to enjoy yourselves. And these crew people, for the most part, don't get paid for doing what they do, but they get to see the country.
Oh, 100%. And the cuisine and the music here in Newfoundland and Labrador, it's absolutely going to be off the rockers tonight. Lots of live entertainment on George Street. So
music as well.
Music, yes. Entertainment.
Mike, quickly before we let you go, let's talk about your partners. You had the local GM dealers come in, the Atlantic Gaming and Lottery Corporation coming on as partners. Who else are we missing out, and who else you got to thank before we get this race finished?
Well, bottom of my heart, I got to thank Pat Squires and the family for every ounce of sweat and tears that went into this place over the last 10 years. This is our 10th season, year number 2 with the NASCAR Pinty Series, and big shout out to Atlantic Lottery and Proline, as well as our friends at Hickman Automotive Group and the Chevrolet dealers. So we're definitely looking forward to the future, and it's going to continue to get better and better.
We've got a little bit of time. What fan came the farthest?
BC. I was looking at the area codes as the tickets were selling, and there's fans here in our grandstand from all across this country, and from the provincial side, I believe we had some customers from all the way up from Nain.
Wow.
Which is northern Labrador.
So how long would it take to get from Nain for us who aren't from around here?
I've never been, but it's a long way up. It's like probably from Toronto to Alert.
Come on
which is
now.
the North Pole.
If it's off the subway line, people in southern Ontario barely acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So, but you're talking more than a 24-hour drive.
Oh, 100%. You gotta get on a plane. And then some people drove from Labrador. I was talking to some of the fans, and the distance from Churchill Falls. We got people here from Labrador City, from the West Coast, Corner Brook, from my hometown, Gander. Dooley's Trucking's here from that support Larry Jackson. It's cross-province, and it's great to see.
Churchill Falls is where the power is generated, right?
Yeah.
So that might be the same family
that
I
we're
met.
Cut it off.
That might be the same family I met last year waiting in line
Yes.
for French fries.
Yeah. So
which is great. Some friendly folks. And I mean, I can't get over the fact they say the drive is much shorter now that they've paved more of the road.
100%. And there's a lot of stuff going on in Newfoundland, Labrador right now. So it's exciting to see. The big projects are starting again, and the economy's starting to boom. So, it's going to be a wild couple of years ahead of us.
Right on, Mike. We're hoping to get back next year and have a great time. We've had some amazing
You
times
hope.
here.
We do what we can. I've never left.
I keep setting you up for the spike. Are you
I'm
going to
already
give some
telling
news
you,
yet?
you're coming.
So that means we're going to do this again.
100%.
Well, that's amazing, fans. How about that? We're going to have this series back here again, which is awesome. I know we're excited.
I'm trying to sign a 20-year deal.
20-year deal. Well,
Wow.
I don't think any of these fans would.
Football is all about smart moves, quick reads, and being one step ahead. Same goes for the Chevy Silverado. It's everything I need in a truck. Power, range, and all the best tech. Dependability comes standard. This truck moves fast, plays smart, and plays to win. Chevy Silverado, ready for your next play. Visit your local New England Chevy dealer today.
Complain if we had to come back here for the next 20 years, the way we've been
100%.
treated. Even the teams, it's a big undertaking for them, but, I don't hear any complaints about it. I hear them all pumped up about it. We mentioned today was all business, but I know a lot of our friends were out on George Street last night, so that they are taking the scenery as much as they possibly can. Any predictions for the finish here, Mike?
On Tuesday I got that call that LeBay is going to be here, and I got to spend. I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, for the awards, won his championship in 2016, and Spiteri was there, and that was the first time I ever met him. It was the first year of the Pinties, and myself and Tony said we need to get this to the Rock, and it took some time. But I never forget drinking champagne out of the Pinty's cup with Alex LeBay. So
there you go.
So my pick here for the conclusion, I think the 24 has something for us. 157 Xfinity starts or something.
It's a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was super stoked when I got the call, and just to share that memory of the Pinties in 2016 and to see it here and now him here, it's pretty incredible.
Just confirm, we do have a bit of oil down. They're cleaning that up on the back straight if you're just joining us here on the stream.
Yeah, it starts at the back straightaway. It comes down into 3 and 4. And if it doesn't go to pit road, chances are it comes around the front of the racetrack as well. So, folks, if you need to stretch your legs, it's a good time to do that.
We had a driver come from Sydney, Nova Scotia one time, and it was a hobby stock, and he laid oil around the whole track. Instead of going off, he went the whole distance, and we had quite a delay that night.
We had this last weekend at Peterborough in a race that we did. The car went 3 laps. So to watch them put the oil dry down in a crisscross pattern and then spend the next 45 minutes trying to blow it off. And what they do, in case you're not sure, you put the oil dry down, you have to work it in with a broom or something to get in to soak up the fluid, and then you'll take a blower past it and
Yeah, we're seeing a blower out there now, so they're getting set to clear from the backstretch and work it into the 3 and 4. But it's a great break right now because it's been incredibly intense the last 230 laps. So for the fans, they've been on their edge of their seat. This is a great little break.
Let's take a quick break while we have the opportunity, and when we come back, there'll be more from Eastbound International Speedway. Welcome back to Eastbound International Speedway. The Proline 250, presented by the Newfoundland and Labrador Chevrolet dealers. It has been a wild 230 laps. We've had cars up the wall in turns 1 and 2 on the back straightaway. We've just about taken out the entrance to pit road with a couple of cars on top of each other. We've seen just about everything, but Trayton Lapsevich has definitely had the car to beat here in the last few laps, Clinton. But who's got something in reserve?
Well, if I go by here and we look back through the field of these cars lined up on the front straightaway, who hasn't had something today? Okay, Lapsevich, maybe LeBay in the 24. Cameron started with a penalty. Tagliani drove through the pits.
Yep.
Gannett had issues. Dumoulin, maybe the only guy, along with Larry Jackson, another guy who we haven't said much about. Larry Jackson been having a good, clean day so far.
So I wanted to talk about that before we went to break. Different people go about their races differently, and at the front we've got a couple of drivers in Trayton Lapsevich in the 20, Marc-Antoine Cameron in the 96. They are Chargers. They will work through the field. They want to get to the front. I want to put some focus on Larry Jackson in that Dooley's Trucking 84. This is a guy who loves being at the races. He will help anybody in the pits work on their race cars. He will have more fun after the races than anybody else at the racetrack. His goal is to not mess with anybody, but he drives a race car very well. Don't make no mistake, he's a nice guy, but he is a gifted race car driver. There's barely a mark, knock on wood, on that 84 car because the way he goes racing. Let's throw down to pit side with Todd, and we'll get back to our conversation about Larry Jackson.
All right, let's bring you pit side while the red flag continues. In fact, I'm going to walk over and grab the crew chief for Trayton Lapsevich. It's Jeff Lapsevich. This is probably not a red flag that you wanted to see. You were in control of this thing, it looked like, for the time being.
Yeah, no, we were looking pretty good there, and I didn't want to see the yellow previous either. But I think Trayton's doing a really good job. We got a really good car. He's been saving, so we got some left, I think, and he's going to put a good run on here. I was just checking to find out how Caden's doing. He's racing in Elko today, so I was trying to get some updates on the ARCA race there, but I can't find anything.
Well, you'll have plenty of time for that. I want to say that the car didn't start out the way you wanted it. You made some pretty substantial changes at halftime.
Yeah, we did. We've thrown about everything you can to tighten it up. We've put sway bar to it. We've put wedge in it. We've dropped the panhard bar, and we ended up changing a spring in it too. So if that doesn't tighten it up, I don't know what would. But I think we're good now.
Thanks, Jeff. Good luck the rest of the way. Caden Lapsevich will lead them back to green, guys, as soon as we get going, and that cleanup is looking like it's just about getting close to being done.
What did you see there with Jeff Lapsevich? I saw a very calm, cool, we got this, Jeff Lapsevich.
You know what's unique about this situation is Jeff Lapsevich is all about his kids and his boys and their racing, and he gives them quality equipment and he works on quality equipment. Today he had to earn his stripes because he didn't give Trayton a car they could win a race with. And it's not very often you see a driver make multiple pit stops chasing a setup and throwing whatever they can at it, and it actually works, and they're able to come out and get back to the front.
Well, it just goes to show that they know they're championship contenders, and they should be winning these races. They weren't going to be content to just ride around in seventh. They had to take the shot, and it's paid off for them so far.
So to that point, I think that's a different Jeff Lapsevich that we saw down there. Things weren't the way they were supposed to be, but he did his job as a crew chief, and they made the changes they needed, and now he's given his kid the tools, and he knows Trayton can get it done.
Yeah, a content dad who knows he did what he had to do, and they've seen results already. Whether they get the final result or not, they know they put the car in the right position to drive back up through it.
To go back to the conversation about Larry Jackson, and poor Larry, we're never going to get the end of his story. Todd is down pit side with another story for us.
He has Alex Labbé in the car today rather than Thomas Naveau. Anything left maybe in the final 20 laps for this race?
He has been saving a little bit there. He's a pretty wily veteran. Running all those races down south, he's learned a lot. But, these cars, they're not new to him. He's won a championship in them before, won a lot of races. So we'll see how it goes. But we got a pretty messy outside lane here now, and it might be a tough restart. But we'll see. Dave Jacobs prepared a really good car for these guys, and we'll see what we got at the end.
Yeah, he's done a nice job here today, and it's a tough situation getting thrown in with a driver that you haven't worked with previously and a new team like this to gel together quickly.
Alex is such good feedback. He knows what he wants in the car, so it was really good to adjust on it, and just in practice he got it where he wanted. So it was actually pretty easy.
Good stuff, Ray. Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks a lot, Todd.
So, Mike, walk us through this. Actually, this is an interesting conversation that we can all have, I suppose. Doesn't need to be a surprise, does it?
No.
There we go.
No surprises in Newfoundland.
There you go. So, post-race, we've got some special guests here.
Yeah, the Minister of Justice, Andrew Parsons, is going to be here. He's going to be the official presentation, as well as our representative from Atlantic Lottery.
Fabulous.
So that means we're off the clock after that.
Well, there you go. Now, Clint, can I finish my Larry Jackson?
Yes, please.
Truck, can I work with Larry Jackson, or do we got any more surprises?
Give it.
So, in talking about Larry Jackson, you'll see him in the midst of battles, and then all of a sudden you'll see him move over and let people go. He doesn't want to mess with anybody, so he won't put his car in a bad position, but he won't put anyone else in a bad position. He says if they want it that bad, they can have it. I want to be around for the end of the race. And this is what we're seeing right now. That's why that 84 car is as clean as any car out there on the racetrack, because he's so aware of his surroundings. And that is what gets him to these solid finishes, is by not getting into situations. There's not a driver in this field with a hard feeling for Larry Jackson.
I think that's what happens when you have the car owner as the driver, though.
Yeah, you do drive with your wallet a little bit.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Larry's a fire captain in Mississauga, Ontario, and a longtime firefighter. So he's our own personal hero, Larry Jackson.
You're absolutely right. And he owns the car that he owns the 99 car that Owen Groves was driving here this weekend. He and Howie Skinnell work hard on that race car to bring it to the racetrack with various drivers in different rental programs on road courses. It's sometimes Matthew Skinnell behind the wheel. When we go dirt racing, it's going to be Aaron Turkey behind the wheel, another driver from Ohsweken. And that's fun. You should come down to Ontario for that.
What's the date?
I don't know.
August 14th and 15th. Monday, Tuesday.
Thankfully, the track promoter stands beside me.
Thankfully, I knew the dates off the top of my head.
We'll see, boys. We'll see.
Oh,
we might get in trouble.
No, we're kind of kindred spirits in that, Mike, because, you had your first event last year. I had our first event last year. So we both learned a lot about the series and what it took to make it success. And I think we both heard great things about our events. And we're excited to keep moving that way. We were able to land 2 dirt races this year. So we'll have a Monday, Tuesday doubleheader at Ohsweken. If you've never been up there, check it out. You can check us out, Ohsweken. We're on YouTube every week, too, so if you want to check out the action.
What's the chances my buddy Kenny Wallace is going to be there?
Well, Ken Schrader's going to be there, and those guys run in the same circle, so there is a possibility.
I actually heard a rumor about Kenny Wallace.
Really?
I saw something on social media. How thankful are the fans right now of the direction of the wind? Right?
No, you know what happened to us on our flight today, Adam? So there we are at 6 a.m. at Pearson. We've already been through security for an hour and a half, so we've been there early. They fire up the plane, and I have never seen so much condensation in a plane coming up the windows. We all looked at each other. I had to YouTube it, condensation in a plane, to make sure we weren't on fire before we even left the runway. And all the staff walked around like nothing. I guess it's normal.
That's the trick.
Yeah.
You look at the flight attendants.
They're
not upset.
Nobody cared, so I guess we weren't on fire, and here we are. We made it. But, man, for a guy who loves flying, that's a heck of a thing to wake up to in the morning. Are we going to get off the tarmac here? And, man, it seemed like it taxied forever. I thought it was driving all the way to Gonder. It must have taxied from the farthest gate to the farthest runway. We were rolling along there for a half an hour. But
I got a funny story about Pat Squires, the owner of Eastbound. We were on a flight to Halifax, and the windshield cracked in the aircraft at 30,000 feet or whatever. And so everybody got really hot because the oxygen just exited the plane, and it got really cold, and then it got really hot. And the stewardess going around with the oxygen. But anyways, Pat, I look at Pat. I was like, "You okay?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm best kind." And I'm like, everybody in the whole plane is in panic mode, and this guy's just over there, best kind. So the guy doesn't even need oxygen.
When it's time to go, it's time to go.
Yeah.
I always fall asleep on the plane, and you're right, in Toronto they taxi forever, so I kind of dozed off, and I woke up, and I had the window shut. I'm like, are we flying or are we driving right now? I didn't know if we were halfway here or still driving around the tarmacs of Toronto.
Mike, give us a bit of upcoming dates here. What's coming on? I don't mean to put you on the spot with precise dates, but tell us a bit about the fans who maybe never been here, thinking about coming here. What do you got going on the rest of the season? What's coming up?
It's a jam-packed schedule from May to October every year. And next week, Canada Day weekend, we got the WDRA, brand new sanctioning body, World Drag Racing Association. So we're going to have drag racing next weekend. Then we're back July 9th for Advanced Auto Parts NASCAR Series. And that goes back and forth basically week after week. And then we got the Napa Auto Parts World Series of Monster Trucks, which the tickets are hot right now. I know premium on Saturday and Sunday is pretty much sold out. So we got 3 shows for the big boys. Bounty Hunter's going to be back. 7 race trucks going to be here on the island, as well as 2 ride trucks. So your tickets, make sure you check out the Napa Auto Parts World Series of Monster
A drag race here's got to be wild.
Oh,
like
I was
you're
just
sitting on top of the drag strip here.
There's one guy here that's got a 4.4 second car, and every time he goes down the track, it's a Cougar, Mercury Cougar, and every time he goes, everybody just clinches and there's nothing to it. He could be going down sideways, at 160 miles an hour, and
your fist.
He's best kind.
Clench their fist.
Yeah, in the tower, I do the announcing for that, and it can be pretty wild here on our weekly drag racing program. And you could also take your mom's car out on Sunday afternoon, and you could be part of our Street Wars program. Maybe you can take out the minivan and try out the drag strip yourself for just $30.
That's pretty cool.
I see a low tire there on the 27 right rear for Andrew Ranger as he paces around out here, Adam.
Well, thankfully, he's already sort of blown his day, so he'll come down pit road. And that's something to look for as they sit there for that long. We'll look at these lead lap cars and see what's going on with them. Let's look at that trail of oil dry. So Lapsevich will be able to stay to the inside pretty much all the way around. Yeah. Razor was right. The interview we did from pit road there with Todd. The outside groove, it's going to be challenging for drivers on the outside to be able to maintain their position. So in a situation like this, they'll have the cars run through the oil dry, and quite often they will be communicating with crew chiefs. You'll see officials up and down pit road talking to crew members. They want feedback from the drivers. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Do they think it's okay? And you'll take the driver's input into consideration, but at some point,
you got to go.
You got to go.
Point leader is the leader right now in the point standings. Trayton Lapsevich positioned firmly with some great runs to start the season. Second, Marc-Antoine Cameron. And he's 9 markers back. Then 17 positions back is Kevin Lacroix. LP Duhlman sits in 4th, and Alex Gannett rounds out the top 5, 25 markers back. So a lot of them here at the top of the charts. Back to yellow, that means we're counting laps again. 17 to go as it sits right now.
9 cars remain on the lead lap. And it is going to be 15 laps or less, the sprint to the finish on this one. So Alex LeBay will have tough sledding up on the high side in that 24. But Trayton Lapsevich, no matter what, is not going to have an easy time because he's going to have Cameron right behind.
Alex Nagy, the director from NASCAR from several years ago, just sent us a text. So he's poking fun out of us.
That's what Alex Nagy does.
We get the pleasure to work alongside Alex pretty much every 2 weeks now with the APC series. And
just want to say a big shout out to him because that's where it all started. And incredible guy.
He was a lot of fun to travel the country with and answer to. So at that time, I still had an officials radio in my ear. So Alex used to bark the instructions to me pre-race and post-race. And so, yeah, I had his voice in my head for a long time.
Well, he had the official call in 2016. He was here for the official launch of the NASCAR home tracks. And so big shout out to our buddy Alex.
He's been around this sport for a long, long time.
Too many stories.
Last year inducted into the Canadian Motorsports Hall of Fame. Well, the safety vehicles have left the track, so we're closer.
And you can tell the drivers who are going to be restarting on the outside because they're putting a lot more effort into trying to work that oil dry in. Drivers on the inside, like, yeah, that seems like a you problem to me.
It reminds me of an old story on dirt where, AJ Foyt ran like up on the outside where nobody was for the first 50 laps as 100 lapper, and by the time they had burnt all the bottom off, he had packed the top in and dusted the rest of the field in his own lane around the outside.
That was a different mentality then, right? There were different ways. Racing is so much different now. Still amazing, but now the competition is so tightly packed.
A lot of our weekly drivers, actually, this used to be a dirt track. And, it was converted in 2014. So
with the hump on the back straightaway dirt track?
Well, a little bit rise, but not the same.
I personally love the configuration. It's so unique. The fact that you're going up into 2 and down into 3.
It's like 4 tracks in one.
There you go.
There's a lot going on.
It's a Patty Squires track.
Ah, fabulous.
White flag.
It is technical. 1 to go signal being given. Trayton Lapsevich, the Glenn Stires Racing number 20, the Aviram 24 of Alex LeBay will be up on the outside. The 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron, I promise you, the hood ornament on that 96 is going to be as close to the fuel cell of the 20 in front of it as he can put it.
Coming back to green with 12 laps to go.
Do you want to reconsider that?
Coming back to green with 13 laps to go. Is that what you want to hear from me?
I can't help myself.
No, you got to correct me. We're all good.
Coming back to green, Lapsevich down low. Remember those red stripes on the inside wall? That is the restart zone. Gets on the loud pedal. Alex LeBay with a good launch to the outside, but that oil dry is going to play into this side by side off of turn number 2.
Boy, LeBay poured it in on the outside. Will it stick on the outside? Does he got the match set tires? No, he doesn't. It's loose, Adam.
I don't know how he stuck as well as he did as he'll battle with Cameron, try to pinch the 96 down a little bit. He heads way up to the high side to get above the oil dry. Cameron up to second, Alex LeBay back to third, Alex Gannett up to fourth in that number 3.
If you ask Marc-Antoine Cameron, he still owes one to Trayton Lapsevich, and could it come back in payment right here?
Oh, yes. I don't know if that was rhetorical or not, but yes. Cameron chasing down that 20 machine. Trayton able to open up a car length or 2 on corner entrance. Cameron able to roll through the center very well in that 96.
Yeah, but Lapsevich was able to drive away off of 4 that time and pull away again out of 2. Cameron's going to have to pour it in here and start to stop the migration if he can. Anyway he can.
He's a gifted race car driver. Oh, big contact in turn number 3.
Josh Collins up on the wall in turn 4.
Boy, oh boy. Hard. If he hit that wall square with the back end, that's actually a good thing because there's not a lot to mess up. The fuel cell is back there, but if you hit a corner, you're going to twist the race car. Well, if you hit it flush with the back, it's possible to drive away, and the crew's saying, hey, carry on.
Definitely pancaked that right side tire. Tore the bumper cover off the back.
Josh Collins runs in the 10th position right now. He's a few laps down, but he's in 10th place. He's on the same lap now as JP Bergeron in that number 1. So it's been a tough day for Collins, but a good job. Get to the end, run as many of the laps as you can, and good things can happen.
So we've got to clean up the debris in turn number 4. They'll come by.
I mean,
click another one off.
Those fans down there in 3 and 4 had to wonder if he was coming down to join him. I'm not sure if we got any look at all of that because it was at the tail end of the field, this close to the end of the race. All eyes were on the front.
Yeah, did not catch that one for a replay.
More souvenirs heading to the turn 4 yard sale.
Be auctioned off in about half an hour. All right, well, good thing. No oil down. Should be good to go. Quickie yellow style.
And now we'll go back to green. Cameron will be on the outside. LeBay will be on the inside. So everyone who just had the advantage is about to have that flip down. Jackson had been on the inside. Gannett had been on the inside. They're going to be stuck up on the outside now. One to go. 4 laps will be the distance when we come back to green. A couple black, red, and white cars. The 20 of Trayton Lapsevich, the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron. A couple of fierce combatants this year. The feud between them, they are not friendly.
I was going to say some drivers in there have had a great day, but I'm just not going to curse them for 6 more laps. We'll talk about them if they can come out the other side with it. Lights are off on the pace car. We are set to go here, Adam. Less than a handful to go.
All the way back to Dexter Stacy in the 92 are on the lead lap. Trayton Lapsevich will set the pace in that 20 machine. We'll see if Marc-Antoine Cameron can keep pace in the 96. Alex LeBay might have the best opportunity of anybody from that 3rd position.
Lapsevich got out front. Antoine Cameron slowed up and tried to get underneath. Couldn't do it. Now he's in a jingle with LeBay down the back straightaway.
They'll duke it out, allowing the 20 of Trayton Lapsevich to get away out in front. But look at them battle 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 2nd, all the way back to 9th in a tightly bunched pack with 4 laps to go.
Working on the back straightaway. Lapsevich, you want to reconsider that?
3 laps to go. The scoreboard is okay. Now the scoreboard's got up. We're good.
Off of 4. Here comes Lapsevich. Leaders get together right behind him. LeBay able to recover. Gannett taking a shot at Cameron on the bottom.
And Alice Gannett and Alex LeBay are buddies. They were both gone for a long slide off of turn number 4. White flag will be displayed this time by 1 more lap to go as Cameron all but pushing Alex LeBay off of turn 4.
Lapsevich just got to bring it down the chute one more time. Oh, Stacy just pounds the back end of Jackson with a big save for Larry Jackson. He'll only lose 3 spots on that one. Off of 4, take us home, Adam.
Trayton Lapsevich for the Proline 250 win. The battle for 2nd goes to Alex LeBay by 3/1000ths of a second over Marc-Antoine Cameron. It is Trayton Lapsevich, Alex LeBay, Marc-Antoine Cameron, Alex Gannett, and Kevin Lacroix. Larry Jackson, he and Dexter Stacy have been into it a little bit this season. He just pulled up alongside 92 on that cool down lap to say, hey, that wasn't cool.
Yeah, Dexter sent him packing into turn 1 pretty good there.
An 8th place finish for Larry Jackson as a result. Trayton Lapsevich missed all the excitement out in front. He drove away on that restart to take home the victory, one that he feels was robbed of him last year here at Eastbound when Marc-Antoine Cameron got aggressive towards the end after a late restart and stole the victory. So we will soon head down to Victory Lane where Todd Lewis will greet the driver of the number 20 from Grimsby, Ontario. And the celebration will be on.
Great drive for Alex LeBay. Coming home in 2nd. Cameron still will maintain his points championship chase here with a good solid finish in position 3. Gannett and Lacroix both decent finishes. Great rebound for Kevin Lacroix.
It really was. The team fought hard. A good result. Top 5. J.P. Bergeron scored a top 10 finish. He was able to get around Josh Collins. Sarah Thorne finishes 11th, 4 laps down, but a great job by that young lady. Top finishing Newfoundland driver, Sarah Thorne, finishing 11th.
Getting ready. Todd Lewis is going to stand by and jump into victory lane here in just a moment, Adam.
The truck was saying it's going to happen. You know how long they wait down there.
See him get his gear off down there. Young Trayton Lapsevich, you mentioned a student. taking business studies as he tries to move into adulthood after being a celebrated race car driver since he's been about 12 years old. This kid's been knocking them down.
Still working the safety gear off down there. Todd Lewis will be on hand. He'll get a drink of cold water. I have a feeling it's not going to be water they're drinking later on tonight. The Lapceviches know how to celebrate. They don't even need to win, and they still celebrate, but it just feels better when they win. Race fans, do us a favor. Give him a big round of applause. Trayton Lapcevich about to climb out to the car. We'll send it down to Todd.
He's getting the checkered flag. He's had a cold drink. And now Trayton Lapcevich is climbing out victorious for the third time in 4 races in the 2023 NASCAR Pinty Series season. What a dominating start. What a dominating second half of this race. He's getting congratulations from his family and his whole team, who did an amazing job. As we heard during the race, a lot of changes made to that car in the first half of that race. Scott Steckley gets in to congratulate him. What a car you had in the second half of that race when it finally drove the way you wanted.
You know what? We won this race. 22 Racing won this race. Wow, these guys made some great adjustments all day. You know, at the start of this race, I didn't think we had anything for them, to be honest with you, but these guys never stopped working and gave us a piece. I just can't thank GSR and FBM enough for their support. This is awesome.
Trayton Lapcevich with a dominating victory, a team win here in Newfoundland.
Well, what a win for Lapcevich, guys. That's going to wrap things up for us up here in the booth. Adam, another great race we saw. Mike, thanks for the hospitality once again. Anything you want to say to all the fans and drivers that came out here Eastbound Park?
No, 100%, man. What a great race. Thanks to all the fans for supporting this amazing day here at Avondale, and we look forward to the future. We look forward to next year, Clinton.
Going to be great.
We'll get her done tonight, and congratulations to our race winner.
Frank, let's come around and get Mark.
Thanks for the hospitality. It's been a great trip to the Rock. Can't wait to do it again. Fantastic show today. Trayton Lapcevich, the winner. We look forward to seeing you next time with the NASCAR Pinty Series.